I step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
And there it is. Good morning. Welcome to it. My name is Graham Richards, and you are connected to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome to it. We are so happy to have you join us for the next 3 hours. And yes, it is a Health Tuesday on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And this morning, we are delving into the topic of corporate wellness. A really interesting one. Is your mental health at the forefront of your company's main goals? Well, if the answer is no, you need to tune in to today's show to find out how you can improve your working environment. This one is for the workers and for the bosses. We want to improve that homeostasis in the workplace. Then fitness instructor Calman Valentino is going to show us how some breathing techniques can decrease our anxiety levels in the office. I'm signing myself up for that one. And one thing that calms our mind is the beach. And Raul is in his happy place. He is lucky enough to be down in Durbs at the moment at the Belito Pro competition, one of the best and I think biggest gigs in the world when it comes to surfing, where we get to meet surfers today doing good in their community. There are layers to this incredible surf competition. But of course, it's going to be 3 hours of madness and fun and mayhem, a little bit of dancing and lots of laughs. And of course, a whole lot of love, because this man has just stepped into studio. I can feel the love emanating from the side of the studio.
I can feel it too.
Feel it.
No, I feel like actually I'm taking the love and I'm sharing with you. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. My name is Carl Waste. Graham, the homeostasis, a large word for so early in the morning, shall be upheld. And I have a question for you, so please share on social media as well as on our WhatsApp line 063 40 88863. I'd like to know from you, how could your company improve your mental health? Now, this is a loaded question off the bat. I'd like to answer first, pay for our petrol. That's the first way. I would calm myself down even better. I'd be so placid at work. And you know what? Homeostasis. Pay for that petrol company. But you know what? You have some other ideas, so please share with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'd love to share your name as well as your voice note a little later. It'll be so great to hear you right here on S3 as you continue with your programming, including the news from around the world, some sport, some traffic and weather as well.
Thank you so much, Carl. Let's start here in South Africa, and feeding off what Carl has just alluded to, the mystery, or the misery rather, for South African motorists continues. Is set to reach new record levels tomorrow. So the price of 93 octane petrol will rise by R2.37 a litre, 95 octane by R2.57 a litre, then low sulfur 50, and then diesel by R2.30 and 500 ppm by R2.31 per litre. Then illuminating paraffin, it rises by R2.21 per litre. The new retail price for a litre of 93 petrol will be R26.31. 95 now costing us R26.74 inland. The Department of Mineral Resources and Energy attributes the increase product prices for fuel increasing during the period under review. Then on a tragic note, here in South Africa, the sporting world is mourning. Tributes are pouring in for the late mother and aunt of former Western Province and Springbok rugby star Brayton Polser. So on Sunday, Polser's mother, Seta Vasahi, is 60, and his aunt, Marie Gallant, 62, both from Ceres in the Western Cape, drowned at the Old Harbour in Hermanus. And they were apparently taking photos when they were swept away by waves. Western Cape Premier Alan Windey has extended heartfelt condolences to the family. Mr. Polser and his family are in a painful time, Windey had said, and we certainly echo those sentiments and send our condolences to Brayton and his family. And casting a wider gaze on the international front, Spanish police say they have seized 6 underwater drones built to smuggle large amounts of illicit drugs remotely from Morocco. They said the unmanned submarines, each capable of carrying 200 kilograms, had more than enough range to cover the 15-kilometer journey across the Straits of Gibraltar. They said trafficking gangs were supplying drugs to criminals in France, Denmark, Italy, as well as Spain. 8 people were arrested in the police operation in Barcelona and in the southern provinces of Malaga and Cadiz. Now, then moving on, at least 6 people have been killed and 24 injured in a shooting at a 4th of July parade in Highland Park in Illinois in the U.S. Wounded victims range in age from 8 and 5 are children. The incident now marks the 308th mass shooting in the U.S. just this year, according to data from the Gun Violence Archive, which is a non-profit organization tracking such incidents. Now, late last night, police were still searching for the suspect, identified as 22-year-old Robert E. Crimo, and he apparently fired from a rooftop. Then on to a story focusing on wildlife. Dwayne, a rhino, a double survivor after surviving poachers last year and now a parasite. Now he became the first rhino to receive an entire blood transfusion. In June of last year, Dwayne was the sole survivor of the slaughter of 11 rhinos, 4 being unborn babies by poachers on a private reserve in Limpopo. Dwayne was a lost little 7-month-old and was very scared as his carers fighting and of course resisting them at the time of his capture, but he eventually calmed down once they managed to feed him at the rhino orphanage. Unfortunately, earlier this year, Dwayne was diagnosed with Theileria, which is a blood parasite passed on to wildlife through a tick vector. And the parasite left him weak, battling a high fever and elevated heart rate. And in a first-ever whole blood transfusion on a rhino, Dwayne was nursed back to health and is now fully recovered. He's being called a double survivor because he first survived poachers and then he beat the parasite. The Rhino Orphanage has shared the happy news of his recovery with South Africa and the world. And we're going to echo their words and say, go Dwayne, you big, lovable lad, you are a double survivor. Well, that's where we leave our news headlines for now. Let's...
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a peek at the sporting action for you. And starting off with Peter Steph du Toit, who is fit and set to return for the Springboks as the world champions look to clinch the 3-test series against Wales in Bloemfontein on Saturday. Bok assistant coach Dion Davids on Monday confirmed that du Toit is available for the clash at Free State Stadium after missing out on the 32-29 victory in Pretoria last Saturday due to injury. The 29-year-old was the only injury concern going into the first test at Loftus Versfeld, but has since fully recovered from the shoulder injury and is up for selection. Andre Pollard is also expected to return to the 10 jersey in place of Alton Yankees. On to football. South Africa came out of their shell in the second half to send out a strong signal of intent at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations finals as they beat defending champions Nigeria 2-1 in their Group C opener. The match had been billed as a potential dress rehearsal for the final later in the month, and South Africa will have received a major morale booster with the victory courtesy of goals from Jermaine Siopa-Senwe and Hilda Machaya. The pair of goals came within 2 minutes of each other just after the hour mark as Banyana suddenly burst to life after spending much of the preceding hour on the back foot. South Africa's next match is against Burundi on Thursday, and let's make sure we support our ladies. On to cricket action. Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow as England closed in on a 4th successive winning a run chase under their new test leadership duo of Captain Ben Stokes. Action, Rafael Nadal's bid for a remarkable 23rd Grand Slam title remained firmly on track as he booked a quarter-final clash with Taylor Fritz. The 36-year-old, who has already won the Australian Open and French Open this year, blew away Botic van der Zandschulp in straight sets to move into the last 8. He could meet Nick Kyrgios in a mouth-watering semi-final after the Australian battled past American youngster Brandon Nakashima in 5 sets. In the women's draw, Simona Halep was at her dominant best to overwhelm Paula Badosa 6-1 and 6-2. Kazakhstan Elena Rybakina reached the quarterfinals for the first time with a straight sets win over Petra Martic, while Amanda Anisimov is also through to the last 8. That's wrap with sporting action for now. Another update for you in 1 hour. Let's take a peek at the weather. Uncle Tubsy Wubsy standing by.
Thank you very much, Wasty Tasty, and a very good morning to you, Mzansi. First look at your weather. We start off here with the Minister of Water and Sanitation here in South Africa, Senzo Mchunu, saying that he wants all the remaining water leaks in Nelson Mandela Bay closed by Friday. Mchunu briefed the media yesterday on the progress made so far by the city to avert day zero, and the Metro, in partnership with the business sector, has been tackling water leaks across the Metro with over 2,000 of 3,000 leaks closed so far. And while Mchunu applauded the the team for the progress made. He said that no drop of water should be lost through leaks. And the municipal manager of Nelson Mandela Bay, Nokolo Nkwazi, said that 3 more local contractors would be procured to deal with water leaks. So please, we wish them all of the best as they tackle that situation over there. And now we start off our morning on a feel-good note by taking a look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures that you've sent through to us. First up, we take a look at the stunning shot from Anthea out in Rondebosch, showcasing an array of pink neon hues, highlighting the clouds. I mean, how beautiful is that picture? Thank you so much for that. Owen Granger also came through, one of our regulars, with a beautiful one, Lakeside. It's beautiful this morning. Sent us this one where the sun is causing a fire.
exercises is fitness coach and ultra-marathon athlete himself, Coleman Valentino. Coleman, welcome to it.
Thanks, Graham.
Hard at work. How's it going with your project, man? Are you almost finished?
Almost done. Running behind a bit, hey?
Oh, buddy, what are we going to do? The deadline is coming. I'm feeling the nerves are starting to overtake me. Stress in the workplace is a real thing, and it's been exacerbated after the last couple of years. Yeah. Trying to work from home could be great, but if you've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old like me, even more stressful. So we need to relax. As someone who lives in this space, who puts your body to the ultimate test, being an ultramarathon athlete, how important is it for you to stretch and learn how to breathe properly? How much do you rely on it?
I would say it's, number one, you need it to stay alive. You need breathing to stay alive. You need oxygen. But one of the most important things, because you need to release the tension, I think is number one. Because body holding on to tension, it's really bad. It can lead to a lot of problems in the body. So the best way to release the tension, fundamentally, breathing.
Breathe. I love that. Okay, I'm going to send out an email to everyone. I'm just having a breathing session now. Please don't send me any irritating
15-minute break.
15-minute break. Okay, but this is the thing. We're doing this here in normal clothes at our workspace to prove to you just how simple it can be to do a little reset when you need to, when you feel like the tension or you feel like the stiffness is taking over. What do we do? Okay, take me through it.
So first thing you can do is everybody sits at their office desk, office chair. So first thing you can do is open up the knees nice and wide.
Okay.
And you just up your chest, and then you try to lean forward, stretching out your lower back here. And you're getting into some of the hips as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so straighten out your spine, roll your shoulders back. Try to squeeze your scapula together to help activate the spine here.
Oh, there we go.
If you are really flexible, you can go down towards the ground without bending the spine there. So you might feel the inside of your hips there, front of your hips.
Lovely, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, the sedentary lifestyle, it's amazing how many experts who have come through our doors have highlighted the fact that most of our kind of concurrent, these long-running health problems stem from the fact that for generations we have lived a sedentary lifestyle. We're sitting with the wrong kind of posture, yeah.
There we go. And the best way, if you want to be energized, one of the best ways is to twist the spine.
Okay.
So you can just reach the back of your chair here. Keep your hips facing forward, reach the back of your chair. You're going to throw one shoulder forward, one shoulder back. And you're going to lift up your chest, lengthen your thoracic spine there. And try to squeeze your scapulas together as well. Nice and easy stretch, but focusing on the small details makes it even better.
The difference,
yeah.
it really...
So squeezing shoulder blades together, rolling the shoulders back. And then we want to even out both sides as well. So you do the other side as well.
And just do this. I mean, this is not a exercise in speed or intensity.
Yeah, it's quite easy. Yeah.
Relax and do it smoothly.
And sitting at the desk, the first thing to go is your lower back. So it's your spine, lower back, thoracic spine. So twisting it, the body has 3 planes of movements. So you want to use all 3 planes of movement in the body to help open it up, especially in the spine.
Great.
Especially the spine.
Right, what's
and then we have another one here. For the neck, nice and easy, just put your right hand on the left side of the head. And you're gently pushing down here. And I want you to reach out with your left hand. Reach out, there we go. And then you're breathing. It's important wherever you're stretching is to breathe into that part of your body. Imagine the breath going there. So when you inhale, the muscle contracts. When you exhale, the muscle relaxes. So you're using your breath to help stretch out your muscle. So the breath is the foundation of stretching. So you're not just holding your breath, not just stretching in a pose.
Expanding into that.
Expanding and exhale.
Okay, I love that.
Let me do the other side as well to help stretch it out.
All right, well, I'm already feeling a lot less tense. In fact, I'm going to take this moment now that I am relaxing to just crush a moment of refreshness, and you definitely can. We're going to continue to do our stretching and our breathing exercises. If you are sitting in an office right now, well, it is pretty early. If you've gotten in there early, well done for being the early bird. But throughout this day, if you're feeling those moments where it's becoming overwhelming, just doing a quick, small little physical thing can help reset the brain, just shift the momentum. But it's going to help your body so much to breathe and to stretch, get that circulation, get that mobility going. Coleman, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
All right, I think we've got about 10 minutes left to finish this assignment. We better get on it, man. We'll see you in a moment. Okay, let's go. Y equals Z.
Oh, you can make my day.
little sunshine. Everflu C Immune Booster Plus, now with vitamin D. Brought to you by Pharmadynamics.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. You're live in S3, and we are back. And we're keeping the conversation going with our panel of experts about the important topic of corporate wellness. Now, we're joined by, just to refresh your memory, executive coach and owner of Coach in Cape Town, Rudolph van Schoor. We've also got corporate wellbeing specialist and CEO of Breathe, Lana Heinmarch, as well as Employee Wellness Officer and Registered Counsellor Brittany Hartzenberg, and wellness expert and fitness instructor Anissa Esop. Don't forget to join our conversation by sending us through a little voice note on WhatsApp, 063-408-8863. In fact, talking about WhatsApps, we have a few, don't we?
We do. We have one from Leanne. Leanne, what have you got for us this morning?
Good morning, Expresso family. How do I think my company could help improve my mental health? I think there's a bad stigma attached to mental health in general.
Yeah.
And through COVID and all the hard times that we've been experiencing, I think that it should be okay for companies to talk about mental health openly and honestly, and it shouldn't be such a there shouldn't be such a bad stigma attached to mental health in general.
Totally.
Hope you all have an awesome day. By the way, it's Leanne from Johannesburg.
Thank you very much, Leanne. Beautiful one. There should be a focus on mental health. Nombulelo also came in with a voice note. Nombulelo, what's yours?
Good morning, team. My company can improve my mental health by increasing my salary. Cost of living is too high. I just can't.
That's my queen. That is my queen.
You know what? I feel like you speak for all of us, dear Queen. I was mentioning this earlier. I'm just saying, if your company starts paying for petrol, I'm starting to feel a lot more motivated working at this place. You know what I mean? Pay for my petrol. It's going up by 250, please.
What do you think of that, Rudolph?
Start working for yourself.
But then who's going to pay for the petrol?
I love it.
Oh, my word.
Okay, so clearly, I think, you know, wellness and mental well-being in the workplace means different things to different people, but surely there is a starting point. What is that holistic sort of core anchoring that businesses should really lead with? Where should it be rooted in, Rudolph?
I think it should be very much rooted into the understanding of the following. Corporate health equals corporate wealth.
Ooh.
And I love numbers. So here's some of the numbers that some of the current studies are trying to point us in some of the following directions. If employees are happy, 13% higher productivity.
Oh, wow.
If employees have a life plan with a life mission that's aligned with the organizational mission, 30% productivity increase. If they can have deep reciprocal relationships with their teams, with their managers, 43% productivity. And if employees start feeling that they belong, 56% productivity. Why not? Won't you try and change that you start focusing on those key things of happiness, belonging, all those things that I've just mentioned. And very much, I think, a key component to this is our management culture. How healthy is our management culture.
That's so important.
That's vitally. And also, can I just tell you, Rudolph, for mentioning those stats so early in the morning, off the bat like that. I mean, I would have gone confused. I would say 47, 31. I would have made it up. Then again, you may have made it up. Who knows? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Brittany, let's go to you for a second because, you know, with regard to corporate wellness, sometimes it's a new space for people, and they would need to employ some people who are only in charge of this on the floor or in a team or maybe in a business unit. So how important is it for companies to start considering employing corporate wellness personnel in their spaces?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think it's also a very new aspect that's just branching in right now. I mean, we've seen people employ wellness managers, social workers, psychologists, digital counselors to kind of facilitate that particular role. And I think it is quite important because, I mean, you wouldn't hire a chef to do your banking things, right? You wouldn't hire someone else, you wouldn't hire a manager to walk your dog, right? So it requires someone who knows what they are talking about in terms of psychology. And I think that it is quite important to focus on wellness in particular and the various assets of wellness and facilitating that role. Someone who can really look at the needs of the company and the staff and figure out what is the best route of action for this particular company. What are their needs? Do they have social needs? Do they have psychological, emotional, physical needs? And I think to look at all those different aspects, it definitely requires someone to pay attention to it, to be detail-orientated, to plan and facilitate, because it takes a lot of time management that goes into it as well. So it's definitely important for someone to solely focus on that particular role so that they can get the best results for the staff at the end of the day.
You know, the things that we speak about on this panel, in the studio right now, these are important things, but they also somewhat can be seen as very romantic things. It's such an idyllic world, just like, oh, everybody cares about the employees, everybody wants to have the plans. But the reality is, I mean, lots of companies and lots of businesses of all sizes will not go and do this, will have no interest, have no know-how, just it isn't in their culture. They just don't know how to care for people in that way. And the absence of that care and the absence of that corporate wellness, what can employees do for themselves to make sure that they're still well? Because you're not going to say, well, I'm not taking on employment because, you know, they just have no employment wellness.
So
that's for you, Anissa. What do you think?
Okay. One thing I want to really say is your health is your wealth.
Yes.
Right. When you are exposed to your colleagues or when you're at work, when somebody comes all stressed up and all in a mood, you actually don't know what they're coming from. And you don't know if they are suffering with bloatedness, where they're coming from abuse, because, I mean, remember we spoke about being at home, working from home, and then sometimes you find a partner that has been unemployed, or you find a partner that is stressed and frustrated, being cooped up in the place, and then there's abuse. Like I said, unhealthy eating, and when you come back to work, you find, okay, you've got an unhappy, we're speaking about happy environment. This is one I highlight, is that, you know, it's important to have a good environment where you're working. So this is where I offer my services to the companies, where I bring the fitness to you. If it's not even in Cape Town, I offer it online and things like that, where I know, because I work personally with some clients that are in the corporate field, and they say, Anissa, I just don't have the time to go to the gym. I don't have the finances to go to the gym. That's where they reach out to me. And, you know, and there are some people that have gym memberships that just go in, and I watch it consistently. Not that I'm judging. They come and just swipe and walk away. Why? They're maybe not even having time, because, I mean, look at this hour, you'll never get it again. Time is just going, you understand? So what are you doing about you? Like I said, your health is your wealth. And it's important to take care of yourself. And again, I'll say team building. It's important to, you know, at least when you come, leaving whatever environment you're coming from, at least, you know, you're looking forward to something. Okay, we need to stretch, like we said, we need to stretch. Blood circulation, I'm so particular in colon cleansing, you know, bloatedness, because that makes you uncomfortable, it makes you unhappy. And having weight works on your self-esteem like you will not understand, and I'm sure I'm talking to somebody out there. I'm talking from experience, coming from 128 kgs. I know what it feels like being big, coming from abuse, coming from, you know, lack. The list is endless, you know, and some people just don't even know where to start. maybe you just need somebody to like, hey, I just need help.
Nudge you in the
And that's where I come into your environment, like, hey, let's do this team building together. Let's rock it. And I mean, happiness, when you're happy and you feel like, okay, I did something to myself for myself, because nobody's going to do it for you but you.
And that's the bottom line, Anissa. Thank you so, so much for that. That really helps, is that doing it for yourself. It starts with recognizing what you need.
Yes.
Maybe you need to stretch. The company won't provide that, but you might be able to stretch for yourselves. In fact, while we take this little short break, and head to the kitchen, maybe stretch while Graham takes you through a recipe.
Oh, thank you, gang. Let's continue on that journey to holistic wellness. Now, I've got to ask a question. Are you taking a break from the winter comfort food binge? And we know we all need it, yes, but sometimes you've got to change the script, flip it up a little. And with the goodness of Crush 100% fruit juice, it's a lot easier to do than you would think. Not only is it 100% refreshing, but it's also packed with vitamins A, C, and D to support your health. And another way to add goodness to your day, a nice plant-based food interjection. And Nondabiso is going to show us how with a fresh and 100% tasty salad. Yes. I almost knocked over the crush. I was so excited. Nondabiso, great to have you here. Because you've allowed us to look at meat-free through a slightly different lens. There is something that we love about a healthy spring roll. I call them the glass spring rolls because you can see through
them.
Like that rice paper wrapping. It's light, it's healthy. What if you're absolutely useless at rolling them and you've now tried your 100th one and you're like, we're just going to put it all together in a salad.
Yes, in a salad, in a beautiful, stunning salad, right, that we have here.
So much colour.
Right, and it's always really good to add colour to your food. So if you could please start off with mixing up those ingredients for our dressing. And you are going to be using the carrot and orange crush juice, which is lovely. That. I always say, you know, the reason why I love when a recipe puts plants at the center of the dish is that we start to look at plants differently. So, for example, have you actually drank carrot juice?
I do go to it because it does feel like an easy way to get the vitamins and the health in there. And of course, when it's bolstered with the amount of nutrients that goes into the crush, it's an easy go-to if you need that little extra kind of zing. And the carrot juice, I suppose, is one of the more accessible vegetable juices, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It lends itself because it's got a kind of a naturally sweet flavor profile. I find it works perfectly. In fact, you've earned yourself just a little glass.
Yes, let's. Sorry, I'm already drinking. Oh my goodness, so delicious.
Glass spring rolls.
Right, and I think that the thing about it is people tend to have a negative attitude towards a juice like a carrot juice, but actually when you pair it with the fruit, then it's just lovely.
It comes alive. I absolutely love that. Okay, so we had our soy sauce, our sesame oil, which is, it's such a great way to inject that Asian flavor into something with a fresh salad like this. Beautiful depth of flavor there. Soy sauce, as I said, a little bit of almond butter and some chili flakes just to add a little bit of heat, just a little bit of extra.
Yes, and I've already started to assemble our salad with our rice noodles as well as our red cabbage and carrots. I'm going to add in some red peppers, some julienne, cucumbers, as well as some parsley and mint, and then, of course, our lettuce. Okay, so this is really going to be very, very nutritious, just all around.
And the textures there, which I love. With salad like this, you want that contrast. I love those, I keep wanting to call them glass noodles, the rice paper noodles, because they're a lot lighter. This has that perfect balance of texture, but also the variance in colors let you know that you're getting the full spectrum of vitamins and nutrients that you need from a salad. And with this, a little does go a long way. It's going to be quite filling because you've got that fantastic mouthfeel. A little goes a lot further, I think.
Yeah, and you eat it and you don't have to feel sluggish afterwards. You feel nice and light and you can still, you know, get going with your day. So there's absolutely no need to, and so you want to drizzle our beautiful dressing there. And there we go. And I think when you want to transition to eating more plants, it's important to eat recipes, to eat food like this, because then you train your palate to actually love vegetables, right? So that's the important thing. I find that a lot of people, when transitioning to vegetarianism, they still want to recreate the meat flavor, but actually just try and eat vegetables as much as you can. And you find after time, you'll start to actually crave and enjoy vegetables.
absolutely beautiful. And then we've added those kind of subtle flavor notes there with the sesame oil and our almond butter, which is going to add a whole different flavor profile. This is beautiful, and it took us all of a few seconds, literally, to whip up and put together. And to be so perfect way to promote health and just make it that much easier to inject a brilliant meat-free meal into your week. And of course, with the Crush, you are 100% guaranteed to get 100% tasty, refreshing goodness in every sip and a good dose of those vitamins to help your immune system stay strong this winter. So that's 100% taste. We've got it sorted. And to get this recipe, you can head over to expressoshow.com.
I'll swap my cake and my car for a Crush. Sure? 100%. Yes.
100% tasty, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
Christmas comes early on Expresso as Golden Cloud and Beacon search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. You and a friend stand a chance to win the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand in the ultimate Christmas in July bake-off. To enter the challenge, create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages, or WhatsApp line on 063-814-2300 using hashtag Golden Baker Search. And tell us why you are SA's best baking duo and why you think your creation is the best. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing live on Expresso for the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand. The winning duo to be crowned live on Expresso this July. Brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. Entries close on the 17th of July. Details and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. We're back discussing employee well-being in the corporate world. And we're joined by our panel of experts. They are fantastic. Such an incredible conversation we've had with them. Executive coach and owner of Coaching Cape Town, Rudolf van der Schuur, corporate well-being specialist and CEO of... So good to have you guys still here.
Thank you.
Yes, we've done 2 parts. We've got a third. It's like a trilogy of good conversation. And
talking about that a little bit in the break.
Yes.
So, you know, I talk about, you know, the Wellness Wednesdays or the fruit in the canteen and the yoga on the lawn type of wellness, which looks great for Instagram. And hey, you know, maybe it's a good gesture and people might appreciate it, but does it actually shift the needle? So does it actually move a company towards creating a culture of well-being? So my company, Breathe, that's very much what we're focused on. It's really about how do we, as an organization, bring well-being into every single aspect of the employee experience from the time that they are onboarded, so that we can actually create a place to work that really enables people to be the best version of themselves. And then we create thriving workplaces in that way. So that's the first big thing, wellness on the side, instead of actually seeing wellness as a business strategy. So that's really the big thing. And the goal and the most effective way I've seen wellness become part of business strategy is when it's driven by leadership. So employees will only do what they see, right? And leaders have a disproportionate impact on the way people show up. So in terms of creating those those cultures of well-being, it's really, really important for leaders to be connecting and collaborating and asking questions like, what is it that gets in the way of our people's well-being? Actually, what are the root causes, right? So we can offer a meditation class or we can offer a stress workshop, but are we actually looking at the root causes that actually prevent people from taking care of themselves? So if people are completely overwhelmed with work, if they're working 24/7, if there's no social connection, if they've got a really difficult manager, it's going to be really difficult for them to look after themselves, you know? So, yeah.
One of my former bosses used to have the triple P sort of approach of people, product, profits, and in that order, never to be dismantled in any way. And it's recognizing that if the people are looked after first, then everything flows really nicely. And each one of those P's can take not presence, but can be just as important and well sort of attended to. Jocelyn is on WhatsApp and has something to say to us. Jocelyn.
A very good morning to my Expresso family and to the panel. I worked as a psychiatric nurse for the past 20 years. I retired now. But you know what? It really affected me. Really. I got depressed and all that other stuff. But the company that I worked with, they really stepped up to the plate to help me with professional help. Thank you so much, Jocelyn, Albert Gardens. Bye.
Thank you, Jocelyn. I appreciated that. I mean, that's part of this conversation, is that vulnerability. Sometimes you're in a space, and if your corporate wellness program is not coming through to the fore and actually assisting you and recognizing you need help, then I think that's a massive shortfall. So I'm glad that they've assisted you, Jocelyn. I know you're retired now, but it's great that you can share and also weigh in. Just important.
We also got one more from Alshay. Alshay, what have you got to say to us?
Hi, this is a question for the panel. So what's the difference between the traditional and the new way of wellness in corporate?
The difference between a traditional and a new way of wellness in a corporate. Who wants to take that one? Rudolph.
I think the big difference is connection. Because like, I want to echo what Lana said, in the past, wellness was sort of the stepson or the stepdaughter and all the corporate processes that was hidden in the back corner. So you were only looking at your body. Now, in the current situation, we are really looking at relationships and how well-being is facilitated by the kind of relationships that's happening within the employee space. So connection is crucial. And then also the shift in language that we are using. We spoke about wellness in the past. Now we're talking about well-being.
Yes.
So now you're looking at the human being holistically, all the different parts of you. And that changes the ball game totally.
And that is power right there. In fact, Brittany, straight on after that, you mentioned something so important, accessibility of a corporate well-being program. It's vital, because sometimes it's a poster on a wall. Don't forget Wednesday, yoga on the lawn. How do we go about making it more accessible to employees, and how important is that?
That's a good question. And particular in my field of work, like you can't just tell the employees, okay, here's a poster. Today we're going to have, like you're saying, it's yoga. Please come. You won't have any attendance. And that's where it comes to properly informing them, educating them about the particular event, making sure that they know exactly what this event is about and what's required of them. because oftentimes people might be uneducated about something for mindfulness or guided meditation and be like, okay, so I'm just going to sit here for 10 minutes and not exactly know what it's all about. And then there's also that of collaboration with managers and supervisors, especially as an employee wellness officer being on site, you do have some sort of an advantage to kind of liaise with those managers and head of departments so that shifts can be kind of moved in shifts so that employees can have the proper access and have time mainly to attend those events. So it's all about informing them, making sure that they know exactly what the event is about, where it's going to be happening, how it's going to happen, and in particular, just making sure that they are well knowledgeable of everything about the event. And I think with that combination, you can't go wrong.
Wow. Okay, so there is certainly a lot to consider when it comes to developing these plans and really creating an environment of well-being. And we want holistic well-being in our companies that we work for. We want to be well as we work for those. So thank you very much, Anissa, Brittany, Lana, and Rudolph for joining us this morning, our experts on this panel. We still do want to hear from you, 063-408-8863, as we wrap it up.
So much for our panel. Amazing insights there this morning. Hopefully you've been able to take that on board. But now I want you to think about those who have our health and wellness firm and front and center every waking moment. And every Tuesday we bring you the Pharmacy of the Week, which is a short feature that acknowledges the incredible people that are working on the front line and have been during the most difficult time. This is our way to say thank you to these brave healthcare workers. This is proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, who are the sponsors of Brave. So let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week, which is Dalton Pharmacy in KZN.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
It was a huge opportunity and a learning experience for me to be part of a community that lacked service and to be able to deliver that service. So I think it's been amazing. The COVID-19 being what it was, I mean, nobody knew how to handle it. We had to figure out ways in which to still deliver the healthcare. And it did impact in that we lost lots of patients, especially in the second and third waves. And, but we found ways around it to make sure that patients got their medicines. The bravery of the staff to stand up there and still service those patients who we know could be COVID positive is an amazing, amazing initiative from the staff and from the whole pharmaceutical industry, I think.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Are cold and flu symptoms disrupting your day? Adcock Ingram self-medication offers relief. Available without prescription. Adcock Ingram OTC, adding value to life.
Sponsors of Brave, indeed. We thank all of you who are working on our front line. We really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And of course, still lots to come on this Health Tuesday. Don't move a muscle. We'll see you now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. As we charge into the second hour of the show, we're going to continue to look at our well-being with some mental toughness in just a moment. But right now, time to get back into the news.
Thank you very much, Graham. Let's take a look at that update on your news headlines. Starting off here at home in South Africa, Eskom employees are expected to make a decision on a new wage today before the Central Bargaining Forum reconvenes. Now, the unions, NUM and NUMSA, will receive feedback this morning from branches on the proposal that could help lift the pressure on the national grid. Eskom said labour unrest was one of the contributing factors to the current rolling blackouts. And meanwhile, Eskom has rejected the City of Tshwane's offer to enter into a settlement plan for the 878 million rand it owes the power utility. The deadline for payment was the 17th of June. Meanwhile, the misery of South Africa, or rather for South African motorists, continues this month with fuel prices set to reach new record levels tomorrow. The price of 93-octane petrol will rise by R2.37 a litre, 95-octane by R2.57 a litre. Low sulfur 50 ppm diesel by R2.30 per litre and 500 ppm by R2.31 per litre. Eliminating paraffin rises to R2.21 a litre. The new retail price for a litre of 93 petrol will be R26.31 and 95 will cost R26.74 inland. The Department of Mineral Resources and Energy attributes the increase to average international product prices for fuel increasing during the period under review. In international news, a number of protesters have been arrested for driving too slowly during demonstrations on motorways in England, Wales and Scotland over fuel prices. The Go Slow action was mainly targeting 3-lane motorways with convoys of vehicles crawling along 2 lanes, leaving the fast outside lane free. The cost of petrol has soared in recent weeks. The average petrol price is now 191.43 pence, almost 39 rand per litre, with diesel at 199 rand and 5 pence, and that means it costs over £100, and that's around 1,980 rands to fill a family car. Now, some petrol stations are already charging more than £2 per litre. Spanish police say that they have seized 6 underwater drones built to smuggle large amounts of illicit drugs remotely from Morocco. They said that an unnamed submarines, each capable of carrying 200 kilograms, had more than enough range to cover the 15-kilometer journey across the Straits of Gibraltar. And they said that trafficking gangs were supplying drugs to criminals in France, Denmark, Italy, as well as Spain. And 8 people were arrested in the police operation in Barcelona and in southern provinces of Malaga and Cadiz. Now, there's no denying that the world around us is in disarray and that things seem to be changing at lightning speed, typically not for the better. But there's at least one thing you can count on. Once a year, a bunch of brave souls in Gloucester, out in American state of Massachusetts, will try to cross a giant greased-up pole before falling into the ocean. Now, this event has returned for the very first time since 2019 and COVID. Now, the Greasely pole is a 20-meter telephone pole that is slathered in biodegradable grease, along the other items such as banana peels, orange rinds, eggs, as well as fish guts. And each competitor aims to make it across the greased-up pole and snatch a flag that is attached to the end of it. While the moments of triumph are fun to watch, the failed attempts, some of them extremely painful, are equally as entertaining. Now, this year featured a repeat performance by Derek Hopkins, the 2019 winner, who took the flag once again on Sunday. And this goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Kids, please don't try this at home. And that's where we leave it for now. The next update in just over an hour. Here's a look at what's happening on your roads with Carl.
Thank you, Tabzi. Let's take a peek at the traffic for the morning. Gauteng, let's start there. Pretoria, in fact, there has been a major accident at Garankuwa before De Wilt Road, and the road is currently blocked and causing massive delays. Please use an alternative route this morning. And then over to Gauteng Midrand area, there has been an accident on the N1 southbound near New Road, causing more than a 20-minute delay. That's from Samrand. Of course, please be patient on the roads this morning. Let's move over to KwaZulu-Natal, Pietermaritzburg on the N3 westbound. There has been an accident after Chatterton Road. The right lane is currently blocked and causing heavy delays. Please approach the area with caution. That's a wrap of your traffic. Any other updates, please feel free. 063 40 8863 as we take a peek at your weather. On to weather, and starting with some sad news. In fact, at least 7 people have lost their lives after being caught in an avalanche sparked by the collapse of a glacier in the northern Italian Alps. Emergency officials said 8 others were injured in the collapse, with 2 people suffering serious injuries. Rescue teams with helicopters and drones have halted their search due to bad weather, for 14 still missing. Of course, Italy's Prime Minister Mario Draghi said the incident was without a doubt a link to climate change. He said it was also a link to the deterioration of the environment, and the climate of the Alps is changing rapidly. Temperatures have increased by around 2 degrees Celsius, twice the global average, and this is driving the retreat of the glaciers. As they recede, they become unstable, particularly high elevation ones such as the Marmolada, which are often on steep slopes and rely on sub-zero temperatures to keep them locked in place. As a result, catastrophic glacier collapses are becoming more frequent, and always we do send our love and, of course, care to those affected by that tragedy. Now, moving along, Sakhamotso sent us this clear baby pink sky from Uppington. Love looking at your sunrise views. Denzel Pillay, let's move over to you. Denzel sent this bright and blissful view from Durban this morning. What a beautiful day to surf and to share the Stoke, China. And Cindy caught a glimpse of the orange sky across the horizon in Durban as well. And finally, we had this one sent in by Lajith Maharaj out in KZN. Look at that stunning sky filled with pink hues. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks like somebody painted that, honestly. So if you want to send your sunrise view, please feel free. As always, the number 063-408-8863. Let's take a peek at the temperatures and how you can start your day, maybe even what to wear. Now, Polokwane, starting with you, 6 is your minimum, to a high of 22 degrees Celsius. Bombela, 11, jumping to a nice warm 26 degrees Celsius for you. Pretoria, 8, rising to 21. Johannesburg, you have a maximum of 20 today from a low of 7. This morning, Mahikeng, you wake up to 7 degrees Celsius. You jump up to 22. Klerksdorp, also 22 as a max for you from a low of 5. Kimberley, 4 to 22, shining bright like a diamond, always. Bloemfontein, for you, you have a minimum of 4 degrees Celsius, quite chilly, but you thaw out to 20. Richards Bay, 15 to a very, very nice warm 26-degree day. Pietermaritzburg, the same for you, 26 is your high from a low of 8. Durban, 16 to 24 today. Mthatha, 9 is where you start, 26 is where you end up later. East London, 14, rising steadily to a beautiful 24 degrees Celsius day. Cradock, 7, rising to 21. Some rain expected, around a 61% chance for you. Gqeberha, you've got a 12 to 18 degree day on the cards and a 100% chance of rain. It's probably raining already. George, 9, rising to 16. Also rain for you, 81% chance. Cape Town, 8, partly cloudy, 17 is your high. Worcester, also 17 as a high from a low of 3. Sutherland, the lowest of the lot, -2, rising to 12. And then Uppington, 2, jumping to 22 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap-up of your weather. Another update for you in 1 hour as we make sure that your journey matters as Zoe gets into a conversation around your menstrual cycle.
As your natural journey unfolds, let our products naturally assist you. Salome, your journey matters.
Available at pharmacies nationwide. When it comes to tracking your period, it is a great way to know when your next period starts, but there is so much more to your menstrual cycle than just a monthly reminder. Having informative conversations with professionals in the industry who can give us insight into menstrual cycles, how they work, and the biggest issues that women face with their menstrual cycles is a learning experience for all. Now, here to give us more information on the workings of menstrual cycles is gynecologist Dr. Shumange Matsotse. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doctor, I am good. You know what? I love these types of talks because I think it's so important for women and men alike to understand a woman's menstrual cycle. Can you talk us through the 4 different phases?
So when you look at the menstrual cycle, everyone just thinks you just go through the month and then you bleed. But there's so much that's actually happening in the background. So when you look at a menstrual cycle, always think of an orchestra where there's different instruments that create this perfect harmony. Don't know how harmonious the period is for anyone, but there's the ovarian cycle and there's the endometrial cycle, and all this really happens at the same time. And all that encompasses your whole menstrual cycle. With the ovarian cycle, what really happens is that you get the growing of the follicles, right? So the egg, to put it simply, which eventually will get fertilized or won't get fertilized. But while that is happening, while you've got the growing egg, then you've got the lining of the womb, which after you've menstruated, starts proliferating. So starts growing, growing, growing. And at a certain point, if the egg gets fertilized, then you don't menstruate. In other words, you don't bleed. But if it doesn't get fertilized, then you bleed. So all that really just encompasses the menstrual cycle and not necessarily specific just 4 phases.
Oh, thank you for explaining that, taking us through the different phases and also unpacking how the menstrual cycle works. Now, doctor, we are all very unique, which makes learning about our menstrual cycle so important. How can we do this? Because I've got friends who's got little girls or, younger sisters that's now at that stage where these are the types of questions and conversations that's so important.
I think it's important, first of all, to understand why women menstruate. And the reason I'm saying this, you've got a lot of young girls who are just happy to not have your period. And every time I hear that, it's just very unsettling, because I always say, guys, if you're having your period every month, it's just also an indication that things are going right physiologically in your body. So in terms of really what we should tell kids is that at some point, young girls, you have to have your period. It's not a bad thing to have your period, right? And don't get happy if you're not having it. And when you start having it, is to start the period tracking. You must know, when do you start, when do you finish, how long do you bleed for, how long is your cycle? In other words, from the first day you bleed to the last day you bleed, because they need to know what's normal. So I always give numbers, and these aren't lots of numbers to anyone who's listening: 21, 35, 3 to 7 days. So in other words, the 21 to 35 is the normal length of the cycle. Anything outside of that is considered abnormal, and it should get checked out. And in terms of the number of days that you bleed, we're looking at between 3 to 7 days. But yeah, so for me, it's just those basics.
And I know, doctor, there are pretty much apps that also help you to be able to track it and be a little bit more accurate. And you've touched on some of the issues that women deal with, especially when it comes to our menstrual cycles. But what are some of the other bigger issues other than the time in how long your menstrual cycle is?
You could be having a normal menstrual cycle, but you're dying every time you have a menstrual cycle. In other words, you've got these severe, absolutely excruciating period pains, which is not normal. No woman should have pain during their menstrual cycle. So that's really one of the things that you must be aware of, and you should actually go and consult for that. And then we talk about heavy menstrual bleeding. So as much as you will be bleeding for those 3 to 7 days, but during those 3 to 7 days, you're going through, I don't know, like 3 packs of tampons or 3 packs of pads, whatever you use, or your menstrual cup is overflowing and you're changing it every 1 hour and so forth. So that's one of the things that you have to be aware of. So the period pains, the heavy menstrual bleeding, and then obviously if you start skipping periods in between. So you're not having a period every month, you have a period every 3 months. That's also not normal. And those are the things that people should really look out for.
Well, doctor, we appreciate all of your insight and all of the information that you gave us today. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's only my pleasure.
There is nothing better than being informed, especially on the experiences that are faced by women all over the world daily. With Salome, your journey matters.
On a monthly basis, all of us powerful, fierce women deal with our menstrual cycle. But why let it affect our lives?
Anywhere I go, anywhere I be.
As your natural journey unfolds, let our products naturally assist you. Live your full unfiltered life with the Salome range for PMS, menstrual pain, and heavy menstrual bleeding. Salome, your journey matters. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Take lashes higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara. The curved brush volumizes and lifts lashes vertically for a wide-eyed lash look. Hemp seed oil conditions for healthy-looking lashes. Go higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara.
Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso live on S3.
live.
And we're going to share the Stoke Brew because we had the Bolito Pro all week this week as we continue to shine a light on the local surfers, make an impact on the Challenger Series. A couple of them got knocked out yesterday, but we are going to keep on bringing you the action.
Yeah, so we're shining the spotlight on some incredible local ones to be, to be noting. One such surfer is J Bay local Jose Faulkner. Also, he is here giving us some insight into his surfing journey as well as some indication of likes and dislikes. It's going to be very interesting. Check this out.
My name is Jose Faulkner. I've been in the trials before and in the juniors, but this is my first year doing the main event. My goals for this competition is obviously to win or just make it as far as I can, because points in these events are very important, since on the challenges, the more points you can get, the better. Do I think pineapple belongs in pizza? Yes. I'm in love with pineapple, so I don't mind pineapple on the pizza. Favorite place in the world is Jeffreys Bay. It's my hometown. It's one of the best waves I've ever surfed in my life. In love with the place, so yeah, home's the best. Stay up late or wake up early? Stay up late. I'm not an early morning person, so stay up late, yeah. I think Italo Ferreira is the best surfer in the world, but I have a few. I have Jordy Smith, he's also really good. Yeah. Ultimate dream surf destination. I think Mentawai's Indonesia. Proudest moment as a professional surfer, wow. Getting the wildcard into the JB Open, it's always been a dream of mine since a little kid. The best wave I've ever surfed, Jeffreys Bay, Super Tubes.
Okay, that's it. I'm ready. I want to be a surfer. It's what I want. I've decided I'm leaving the world of television to go become a surfer. Yes. I love it. Jose Faulkner, very, very inspiring stuff there. Love that.
Well, you know what? We actually need to go to Durban right now, and Graham is ready to take us there with Raul in the next couple of seconds. Stand by.
Yes, indeed. We are one ocean. We love the sound of that initiative supported by the World Surf League. And as it turns out, one of our very own, Bianca van Aert, who's our social media manager, is a part of this incredible initiative. Let's find out more.
Yes, thank you so much, G, and good morning, Mzansi. Once again, we are back in the office, and you can clearly see how happy I am right now. It's an absolutely spectacular day, but we're going to be talking about something special right now. So we're still on the coastline of the beautiful Bolito, and I'm chatting to a legend right now, and it's all about We Are One Ocean. It's an incredible initiative supported by the World Surf League as well as WSL Pure, and what they're doing essentially is promoting sustainability amongst this beautiful big blue ocean right across the globe. Now, we're going to find out more about the initiatives that they are getting involved in, and I'm here with this special, the beautiful, the illustrious Bianca van Aert. She's our Expresso social media manager, but also the media manager for the World Surf League. So, good morning, Bianca. How are you doing?
Hey, Raul. Good to see you and out of the studio.
Yeah, and also on this side of the camera, it's really good, and I think this is actually a good fit for you. But look, there's something incredible going on here, and I'm absolutely so excited. Sustainability, you know, for me, is something I'm absolutely passionate about. But what does it mean for a big sporting league like the World Surf League?
As a global sports league, the ocean is our arena. It's our inspiration, it's our office. The future of professional surfing, not just professional surfing, but all surfing, is directly tied to the health of our oceans. We want to ensure that the ocean stays healthy for generations of surfers to come and aspiring athletes, so that everyone can enjoy it.
Oh, you're like preaching words of gospel to me this morning. Now, I'm seeing this incredible brand on a lot of the athletes. I see the rash vest that you've got here is sporting the We Are One Ocean logo, and a lot of the athletes out here are repping it quite big. What exactly does it mean, though? What is going on here?
So the We Are One Ocean is an initiative that we started with WSL and WSL Peer, our non-profit partner. And it's an initiative to inspire, educate, and empower ocean protection. Through our platform and through our events like the Bolido Pro, we can reach out to organizations, conservationists, ocean advocates, and just ocean lovers like yourself to find out what are you already doing in your community to help with sustainability.
All right. So when it comes to sustainability, what are some of the challenges that we're facing right now, and especially with the league? You get a great perspective to see what's happening around the globe. What exactly are these challenges?
I think as surfers, we love the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
And you love the ocean. And so our biggest challenge now and in the future is how do we get surf fans and anyone else adjacent to surfing to also protect the ocean? We need to share our love for the ocean and to educate them and to empower them to see why they need to protect the ocean for the future.
Oh, yes. Well, look, I'm excited about this. I'm dying to find out more, and I think Mzansi would love to as well. So for anybody that maybe wants to get involved or try and put their hand into creating sustainability and protecting this big, blue, beautiful ocean, how can they find out more? Where can they get involved?
First of all, you can go to weareoneocean.org and you can see there what we've been doing at our tour stops around the world in Hawaii and Australia already. Also check out what we're going to be doing at the Corona Open J Bay in Jeffreys Bay coming up. But we are asking people to share their sustainability stories. Share what you're doing for the ocean in your community at the moment. Share on social media, tag WSL and WSL Peer and use the hashtag #WeAreOneOcean.
All right, I'm going to get on that right now. But I first want to find out from you, you've got a great insight into what's actually happening on the beach. I mean, you're involved in media as well. With regards to sustainability and the We Are One Ocean initiative, has there been any impact already?
Yeah, for sure. So through WSL Peer, we are giving grants to organizations around the world in all the different regions where we have tour stops. And last year, we supported Wild Oceans in South Africa. This year, the grant was given to the J Bay Surf Alliance. And so we're going to be linking up with them in Jeffreys Bay during our tour stop there. And it's an incredible program that comes from Sentinel Ocean Alliance in Hout Bay that's working with them.
Oh, nice.
So it's all about surf therapy and teaching the kids, the youth, why we need to love and protect the ocean.
Oh, I absolutely love this, and I love the fact that you're behind this because I know it's in the right hands as well. But look, I know you've got a busy day ahead of you. You've got a lot of this to manage. And as you can see, Mzansi, there's a lot going on. We've got the yoga instructors and the yogis all getting warmed up for the ocean. The competition's already started. There's so much magic coming at you, so don't go anywhere, Mzansi. We'll see you right after this.
Oh, you're in the next heat.
Oh, am I?
What's beta-glucan? Hello, do you know what beta-glucan is? What is beta-glucan? No one knows what beta-glucan is.
Beta-glucan is a natural fiber in jungle oats that helps lower cholesterol and keep hearts well.
Jungle, do life with heart.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Yes, I am very excited about this one because it's going to force all of us to think about where we could be going, what we could be doing with these amazing bodies that we've been gifted with. And we are joined in studio by 3 South African ice swimmers who were among the group of 16 swimmers from all around the globe who swam in the Arctic Ocean off Svalbard, which, and this happened last week, and it's the northernmost human settlement on the planet. And it's cold. It's somewhere between Norway and the North Pole. Now, Ram Barkai, Jean Craven, and Samantha Welpton are all joining us. very warm this morning, I would imagine. Guys, welcome to our show. Great to have you here. Thawed out just a little bit after what I would imagine was quite a grueling physical and mental challenge. But let's go back to the beginning. Ram, maybe I can start with you. You started the association back in 2009 to formalize the sport of ice swimming. Where did it start? Were you just really cold in the Atlantic Ocean one day and thought, I must make this a sport? When did this idea to formalize this community, this group around you, begin, and where is ice swimming now?
It started, it's a journey, you know. Obviously, when you look back to a lot of people, it looks like I woke up one morning and said, let's start ice swimming. I had a bad dream and let's go for it. But it was actually a journey. In Cape Town, we have cold water, and I started to realize what a big factor cold is in swimming. People don't talk about this. They talk about, I swam here, I swam this, I did this. And I realized that the water temperature plays a huge factor in swimming. So I started swimming. Somehow I ended up in Antarctica 2008, and I realized...
As one does, yeah.
On a holiday, and I swam a kilometer. And I came back and I realized I'm not a superhuman. If I can do it, many people can do it. Then I done another swim, and then I realized that there's a whole world out there. It's almost like you open a door, you know, to the secret garden, well, of ice, if you can say.
On the rabbit hole, yeah.
Exactly, of possibilities, because we all grew up with, it's dangerous, you're gonna die, it's risky, you don't do that. Come winter, you go into the warm pool. So it just opened a whole world, and that world also included Antarctica, all places that, for me, until 10 years ago, 13 years ago, it was like, okay, we're going to go to the moon on a holiday.
Yeah, it's completely
how do we do that?
Yeah.
So now we're going to Antarctica, and it sounds quite normal, surreal. So that world obviously had to have some sort of infrastructure and rules, so I started doing all the set up an infrastructure for rules, parameters, rules, regulation, and promoting it. And so now we have swimmers, members from 86 countries around the world.
Wow.
We have events all around the world. We have the next World Championship in France, in the French Alps, in January. You are all welcome to join us.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll give you free entry fees.
I love that. So now you've brought it to a place where people have their tribe. People have their community around them. Samantha, you've joined this community. What on earth is wrong with you? Why would you choose to do this? What drew you into this incredible realm? You know, as Ram said, this new world of possibilities. What sparked the interest for you?
It's definitely growing up or being around water, and you want to push your limits and you want to see what you are capable of, and you start swimming in the cold water in our Atlantic Ocean. And then one day someone on the beach says, you know what, we're doing this ice swim, why don't you join? And it's interesting and intriguing, and then you start. And then you realize what you are capable of once you've convinced your mind that you are capable of it. And then, yes, like you say, you join this tribe of people that are so like-minded and so inspirational that no one's going to ask you, why are you swimming in Antarctica? Why are you going to Svalbard? People are just like inspiring you to just push your limits and go out of your comfort zone a little bit.
And one can only think what that does in the other areas of your life. Once you have that glass ceiling shattered, not even lifted, but completely obliterated. But then you've got to find places that are cold enough to swim. So we arrive at Svalbard. Hopefully I'm saying that right, John. It's the most northern human settlement that we can get to, okay? So it's cold, I would imagine, very cold. Just how cold is it there? Talk me through the conditions that you arrive in, because I would imagine just getting off the plane, or can you get there by plane? Yeah. Getting off the boat, how do you even get there? But that second that you arrive, it must get real very quickly.
So you start off in Norway, Oslo, where most of us arrived and had a pre-function there, meet and greet. Then you take a plane, it's about a 2.5-hour journey to Tromsø. I mean, a few people have been there. That's right at the northern part of Norway. You actually do a check-in through customs, because Svalbard is an international territory that's managed by Norway, so you have to go through passport check-in in Tromsø. And then it's about an hour and a half to another 2-hour flight directly to the North Pole. And as you said, it's about roughly 1,000 k's the northern part of Svalbard Island. Svalbard consists of quite a few islands. The biggest one is Spitsbergen, which is quite well known. And it's literally a Joburg to Cape Town flight when you're at the North Pole. Flying there, you literally start seeing the polar ice cap. So it's on the fringe of the polar ice cap. The southern bit of Svalbard gets warmed up by the Gulf Stream. Hence, you can swim sometimes of the year in the fjords. But arriving there, it's quite daunting. You know, it's a grey area in winter. We came there at the end of spring. A lot of ice in the water. And, landing at the airport and driving to the village of Longyearbyen, which is the northernmost settlement and the northernmost airport and the northernmost gas station.
That's as far as you can go, yo.
Everything is northernmost. But, yeah, it's quite daunting. And I must say, there's moments of silence in the bus where people start looking at the water. And, we actually did a trip the day before our test swim day. And I've always thought that water can't get colder than -1. We actually got a patch where it was -2, and the water freezes below freezing point because of the salinity, and it's quite daunting.
How handy, though, how handy that the water doesn't even freeze there. That's like a real bonus in this instance. Just to put it in perspective here, one of the competitors, I know you said not superhuman, but one of the superhumans that went and did this was 72 years old. It says that it's about the strength of the mind, and that's what we're going to get into in just a moment. They're not going anywhere. You can go and have a quick ice bath just to kind of relate to them, but we're going to get back into the kitchen to warm things up a little.
So cold. After all of that ice water talk, I think let's warm you up with this next delicious recipe.
Soy goodness from nature. Source of plant protein. Naturally cholesterol-free, lactose-free. Made with love by Clover.
Yeah, let's make something a little bit warmer, okay? If you feel like a creamy curry perfectly balanced with the flavors and a touch of spice, look no further than our Clover Good Hope Soy Good Aubergine Curry. It's soy good. Not only will it satisfy cravings, but it's also vegan and gluten-free. Something for everybody. And Nondumiso Peñani is still here in the house, in the kitchen, to show us how it's done. Nondu?
Yes.
I love this because, over the last few weeks, you've really been so good at bringing recipes that are perfectly timed for the season. 'Tis the season.
Yes, and today's recipes are especially important because they are vegan. Hey, they are wholly plant-based. We love plant-based food. So we've started off here by sauteing some onions and some green peppers.
Yeah.
And you want to just saute them until they're green.
Okay.
Now, I also wanted to say I absolutely love the soy milk. Before we even move any further, I'm always scouting for a good soy milk. And this I can put my money on. It's creamy, it's rich, it's delightful.
No, it really is. Because I think for me, it's the fact that Clover Good Hope soy milk is dairy-free and it's also great for drinking, as it is for baking and for cooking as well. So it's that versatility which I really do enjoy. But it's also preservative-free as well as a source of protein and, those good nutritional values that you want to get out of your soy milk.
Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to add in my garlic as well as my tomato paste.
Nice.
And if you've got a bit more time, just cook the onions until they're green. But of course, it doesn't, until they're brown.
Okay,
so you want to brown them. It doesn't matter though. And then, of course, we're going to add some of our tomato.
Diced tomatoes.
Diced tomatoes.
There's something about onions, hey, Nondumiso, is that they are the perfect trick. If you're trying to trick people coming into your house, and maybe not just for that purpose, but if you really want to get like nice, good, home, warm, inviting aromas in, just onions on their own are able to do that. I mean, this morning I walked through the studio and they were already making some onions and I was like, oh, it smells so delicious. What are you making in here today?
Yes.
They're like, no, it's just onions. I said, onions are the girl.
Yes, of course. And what I love again about this recipe is how it just respects the integrity of the ingredients.
Yes.
So we're not really doing too much. We're not adding too much flavor. Really, the point of eating plants really is always to be able to taste the plant, right? So don't add too many things that it will change the texture.
Yeah.
You want to still enjoy it, right?
I love what you just said. I mean, and also that sounded so smart. It's definitely something I'm going to be saying. To respect the integrity of the ingredients. That sounds so good. Listen, if you want to respect the integrity of these ingredients by making them, go on to our site. It's expressoshow.com if you want to get your hands on this recipe. On there, you will find a list of all the ingredients for which you must show respect and a step-by-step guide of how to make this recipe. So what did I miss now? What did you put in there?
Now I'm adding my spices. I've added some cumin, some chili flakes, some curry, some ground coriander, as well as some chili, some peri-peri.
Okay, lovely.
We're gonna add some, if you don't mind, passing these on to me, the aubergine, which is the star of this dish.
Stunning, stunning.
The star of the dish.
But look at it all, how rich it already starts to look inside that pan, right? All of the ingredients coming together, but it looks so wholesome and so good. Okay?
And like you said, it smells absolutely divine.
I wish people could smell this through the TV. Honestly, it does smell as good as it looks.
Yes. And can you please help me by opening
I've got onions here and I've got the soy milk. What do you want me to do with all of this?
Please open the milk for me and then pour it into the
in goes our Clover Good Hope soy milk. Soy good, low in sodium.
It's soy good.
High in omega-3s. For me, anyone who mentions omega-3s, you got my full attention because they really are the star of the moment. They are the thing of the season.
Yes,
we want to have that. You want to get the goodness of
brain food.
Brain food, very good. And it's lactose-free, rich in protein, GMO-free as well. It's good to know that. Lovely.
Yes, and then we pour that in, and then we're going to let it simmer and cook and stew, right? And then
so what do I do with these onions?
Don't worry about the onions.
Must I not worry? You just put them here for me to know that they are there to respect if ever I needed to make use of them. If you wanted to add a bit more extra onions, maybe you wanted to saute them on the side a little bit to add at the end of your recipe, you still could do that. It's the wonderful thing about the onions is that they really do add that final touch to any recipe. So you're going with some salt and pepper. So what is the next process of this?
We're going to serve this, but we're going to serve it with a flat bread today. But of course, you could also serve it with some rice. And if you want to go low carb, you could leave the bread and the rice out and just eat it as is.
I love
this. So filling, so delicious.
Nondu Miso, you are the moment. Absolutely vegan attempts in the house, ladies and gentlemen. If you want the recipe, go on to expressoshow.com. But if you missed any of the steps involved in bringing this respectful recipe to life, please take a look at this quick recap. Thanks, Nondu.
Thank you.
Made with love by Clover.
Christmas comes early on Expresso as Golden Cloud and Beacon search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. You and a friend stand a chance to win the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand in the ultimate Christmas in July bake-off. To enter the challenge, create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages or WhatsApp line on 063-814-2300 using hashtag Golden Baker Search. And tell us why you are SA's best baking duo and why you think your creation is the best. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing live on Expresso for the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand. The winning duo to be crowned live on Expresso this July. Brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. Entries close on the 17th of July. Details and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on S3. Now, after the disappointment from Sunday with no surfing possible at the Belito Pro, yesterday produced some decent conditions for the men to take to the water in the opening heats, and Ryle is at Willard Beach, and Tasha Mantasti is there to find out a bit more what's for the service today.
My friend, I miss you on the beach, brother. I wish you were here. I'm live again, and we're back at Belito Shows talking about some of the incredible competition and the conditions that have blessed us today. And here to talk about it right now, of course, is Tasha Mantasti. She's a commentator, of course. She's a surfer, a former champion from last year as well, and she's about to deliver on what is looking like an exceptional day. How are you doing this morning, firstly?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm excited. We've definitely got some bigger waves and conditions on offer. You can just feel it on the beach. The energy is there, and they've already kicked things off at 7:05 this morning, and it's going to be a full day of surfing down here at the Belito Pro.
Yeah, I must just say, when I came here, obviously Sunday through to Monday, the conditions weren't that great on Sunday, so everybody has like this little somber mood where they're like, kind of like grumpy a bit. Today, smiles are all around, but yesterday, obviously, the gents had a great chance to obviously get in the ocean, get a good surf in. What was the result of that? Are they still finishing that off this morning?
Yeah, so we started with round 1 of the Challenger Series in the men's division. There's 96 men that have to compete to win this event. So we had to get through that first round 1. We completed 16 heats, so 8 hours of surfing yesterday. There's 9 hours surfing today because we're bringing in the ladies a little bit later.
Oh, okay. So I'm sure the ladies are getting excited because like we've been mentioning, and like I think everybody is the reason for them smiling, these conditions are looking good. It looks like a little bit of an offshore. It looks like it's dumping potential barrels on the cards, maybe?
Yes, you've got this. So yeah, we've got beautiful land breezes. You can see the wind blowing my hair. They're light offshores. It cleans the ocean, the surface area up, which makes for ideal conditions for surfers. And then we call it a little pulse in the swell. So it's a little bit of a ground swell. It's a bit bigger than yesterday. We've got favorable tide, so it's going low tide. And what that means for surf fans on the beach is really exciting surfing from the surfers. They're going to be critical. They're going to be pushing the limits because they need to advance. First and second advancing through. Third and fourth out.
Oh, wow.
So you can travel for 40 hours.
And just like that, it's done.
30-minute heat and it's done.
Oh, so the ocean can be beautiful, but also cruel sometimes. You never know. Yeah. Now, look, I see what you're talking about. Everybody's out here already getting their front row seats to the competition. The locals are out in the water as well, taking advantage of the beautiful day. But I'm excited about the women. Obviously, this competition has more South African women than ever amongst the international amount of women that are coming through. 64 women, I think, in total. What can we expect to see from them? And is there anyone else we should be maybe looking out for when it comes to our local talent?
You know, it's the first time we've got this caliber of female athletes in South Africa and on our shores, and that's thanks to the Belito Pro and the Challenger Series. It's our second-tier event, but yeah, very excited to see the women. We've got some championship tour surfers, so your top pro surfers are actually here. We've also, from a local contingent, got some great stories. We've got the young Louise Lepront, only 14 years old, winning the trials event to get into this main round. And then for me personally, it is a Cape Town girl, Danielle Powers, who has risen through adversity. Yeah. Runner-up in the trials and seeing herself in the Challenger Series. It's just such a great story. So tune in, stick around and watch some incredible surfing.
You're getting me excited, and I think Mzansi and everybody else is watching is definitely feeling the buzz too. Maybe we can get a little bit more technical because obviously the conditions look in prime. For a surfer though, the mentality of how putting a good wave together is going to come through, what exactly are they looking for? Are they trying to get in a battle, or they're trying to get very eccentric and get a flow together? What are they essentially looking for to maximize on their points for this one?
Yeah, great question, especially for people who don't know about surfing. But we adhere to a judging criteria. It doesn't matter if you're grassroots or elite, it's the same criteria. And what the judges do is they actually assess conditions. They assess conditions. Today, we are going to have barrels on offer. What that is those big waves where you stand and get stoked. But there's also going to be a lot of flair in their surfing. So you're going to see big rooster tails of whitewater. You're going to see critical floaters, like lip line floaters, scores, and all athletes really pushing themselves to maximize on the scoring potential of what the wave has on offer.
Ah, I got you, all right.
So, I mean, you can be in top peak form, but if you cannot catch that good wave, you're not going to find those scores. And that's where surfing is very hard. We rely on nature.
Makes sense. And nature's looking good today. Everybody's excited. I'm expecting some higher scoring points today, potentially then as well, based on those conditions.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm excited. Tasha, thank you so much. I can't wait to get into the action. Of course, you've got a busy day. You've got to commentate on this as well. And I'm sure you're going to sneak a surf in too, right?
I'm going to try.
I think we all are going to take advantage of this. So, Mzansi, there you have it, another lowdown on what to expect today. And if you are out in Belito, you definitely want to head down to the beach. The weather's beautiful, the competition is looking prime, and oh, it is just a beautiful day out here. Of course, don't go anywhere. We're still going to be meeting some top fans and also chat about some incredible initiatives taking place right here on our shorelines.
Well, from those near-perfect conditions to go out swimming and enjoy the sunshine, we flip that coin completely and look at probably the most difficult conditions you could swim in. We are continuing our conversation with the ice swimmers Jean Craven, Ramba Kai, and Samantha Welton, and they are talking about their recent swim in the Arctic and the mental strength it takes to get you, well, just to get you there, let alone get you through it. Now, Ram, you have felt so much gratitude towards this incredible discipline, this life journey in swimming in these kinds of conditions, that you've dedicated this book, From Fire to Ice, which takes us through your incredible journey, which I think would offer us insights into why you keep going back for more. But the one thing I can't let go of is the mental strength that you would have to build. So I'm going to ask for you personally, if you can summate this incredible journey that you've got going on in this book into what's happened within your own mind. What does it do for you? What has being an ice swimmer done for your strength of mind, your strength of will, and your mental well-being?
Some people will argue that it hasn't done much for my mental well-being. That's why I have to go back.
And you're all following him, so you're just as crazy, eh? You're just as crazy.
All good problems.
You know, the mental part is always a fascinating part, because it's not an exact science that you can go and measure the temperature and exactly what it does to you. And it's also a very personal thing. For me, when I started swimming in the cold, and the realization, I think Sam mentioned it before, that I can do it, and I can do it longer, and it's not going to kill me, and how far can I go? It was also a mental journey, which actually hasn't stopped.
It's not one light bulb moment.
No, it's a journey to realize that life has a set limits and preconceived sort of walls, and I don't necessarily like walls and boundaries, so I try and find out, and it gave me a huge amount of probably personal strength. Just not comparing to anyone else or superhuman or anything, just to be able to do things that I thought are completely impossible for me. And to see other people coming and doing things that they thought were impossible for them does give you a huge mental satisfaction and mental strength. But also there's something else in the ice, and people always ask you, and there's a lot of talk about this, you know, dipping in the cold water, what does it do to you? There's a lot of, gives you endorphin and everything.
Yeah,
the ice is a very, there's science behind it, but the thing about the ice, that everything is very condensed. Sometimes we compare a 1 kilometer swim to an Ironman.
Wow.
It takes you 12 hours, but we do it in 15 minutes if we're lucky. Everything is highly condensed, and things happen very, very quickly. So if in Ironman it takes you 4 hours to get tired, in ice swimming it takes you 2 minutes, and suddenly, oh my God, I can't feel my hands and everything. And the same with regard to the benefits. So Sam needs to go and do an Ironman to get 2 hours of endorphin. I need to go and do 20 minutes ice swim, and I'm on the same high
on a different
for the rest
planet.
of the day. So it's very condensed.
But that being said, you also then know what's coming the next time you're going to do this. And that, I keep thinking, like, the fear that must have an opportunity to take seed and then grow and then build. What actually happens when you jump in the water, Jean? What goes through your mind and your body and your system? How much of a shock is it when you enter into this place, especially knowing how much you've had to build it up in your mind?
I think that's very true. The previous similar swim we did was in Antarctica in 2018. And, you know, being the first one, there's a lot of excitement around the swim. You know, you jump in, it's a beautiful place to swim. You know, then the shock hits you and, you know, it's like a real fuss bait for, 15, 20 minutes of your life. That's what it's about. Try and get it over with as quickly as possible. But then, you know, the recovery post that half an hour of literally trauma, you know, literally going into a death zone where you touch the fringes of, you know, cardiac arrest. You know, it's a dark place that you go through the recovery. And I often think people have mental problems, you know, that go through this journey knowingly and, you know, on their own will. But this was, I think, one of the biggest challenges, again, in Svalbard, you know, knowing where you're going to go, knowing what you need to put yourself through, the recovery that's still ahead. And, you know, that silence before, that half an hour before, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, before you get into the water is hectic. You just want to get out of there, but you know this is ahead.
Fight
you got to do it.
Flight,
and it's jumping in, and it's like attack from the first minute for 20 minutes and just hanging there.
Oh, Sam, I'm going to round off with you very quickly now, knowing that one of the oldest members of your group was 72 years old. What does that mean to you and your own kind of idea of boundaries?
Well, Hilary McEwen is from Australia, but she stays in Great Britain, and she's just incredible. I told her a couple of times that if I can do half the things at her age, then my life would be complete. And it just gives me so much inspiration that you can do anything that you can convince your mind of to do. And it's just incredible to see her at the age of 72 do an ice swim at -1 and come out and love it and be such a sport and be so positive about life. And I think ice swimming also gives you many coping tools, not just for swimming, but to just deal with everyday stress and management.
You said -1. I think it might have been -2 at times, eh? -2 at times. You guys are amazing to me. Thank you so much for putting yourselves through this so that you can prove to the rest of us what we are truly capable of. If you can, get a copy of Rum's book, From Fire to Ice, if you want to truly understand the insanity of these people and why they keep doing what they're doing. But one thing it has laid bare for me today is that our minds, never mind our bodies, but our minds are so much stronger than we believe them to be. So you can go and visit the International Ice Swimming Association or Mad Swimmer websites to get all of the information and maybe go and take a little dip yourself.
Take lashes higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara. The curved brush volumizes and lifts lashes vertically for a wide-eyed lash look. Hemp seed oil conditions for healthy-looking lashes. Go higher. New Revlon Eyes Wide Open Mascara.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Yes, it is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso. We're live here on S3. What an inspiring morning we've had so far.
Well, I'm just cold. I'm just thinking about the cold.
I am
Imagine -2 degrees. Don't some of that.
But
I
they
love
do it, and they make it happen.
They really do. But of course, our focus has been on mental health, mental strength, and mental well-being, especially when it pertains to the workplace. The relevance of workplace well-being has been put front and center now after COVID. And we put it to you guys. What could be done? What could you do in your own organization? What could your boss do to improve your mental health? And we've got a couple of voice notes.
Yeah, we did ask you to send in voice notes. Let's see who the first one is and what have you got to say?
An important thing is for people to know that they have got somewhere where they could get help. And the help should be visible, it should be consistent, and it should be reassuring at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, the consistency of it. It's not just one event in the middle of the year. It's not just Wellness Day at the start of a brand new year, but it's a consistent approach and commitment.
That's the why of it.
That's it.
Let's hear another.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
The only thing I want to say is nowadays companies would rather get rid of good employees than getting rid of toxic management. They will defend management instead of looking after the employees that work well. So it's all about, who can do what, but they will never do anything for the employees. Enjoy your day, guys.
Sounds quite jaded. Obviously, experiencing it in the now by the sounds of it. And I think there is no greater, certainly within a workplace, when you feel unappreciated, yes. But if you're dealing with a toxic relationship, and that really did surface today, there is a focus now on connections, on those relationships, the wellness of those relationships within your workplace. It's not just about you being happy and healthy, but it's how well that organization is working together as a connected unit.
A people-first approach. Let's hear one more voice note. Okay, well, send it through to us on 063-408-8863. Could be you. Whose voice note, we want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, maybe your experiences as well. What has your experience been in the workplace as far as they go to make sure that they look after your mental well-being or your well-being in general? But right now it's time for us to see what's happening in the world. Carl Wasty Tasty is standing by with the news.
Those are my work conditions, and I'm happy with them, and I thank you. Let's take a last look at the news on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And starting off with national news, officials of the Buffalo City Metro and the Eastern Cape Liquor Board have made surprise visits to liquor outlets in the Scenery Park area in East London to check compliance with their operating licenses. This follows the death of 21 young people inside the Enyobeni Tavern in Scenery Park on the 26th of June. The Enyobeni incident sparked a massive debate around underage drinking. Meanwhile, preparations for the mass funeral service are underway. The service is scheduled for tomorrow, and President Cyril Ramaphosa has confirmed he will attend. Now, Eskom employees are expected to make a decision on a new wage today before the Central Bargaining Forum reconvenes. The unions NUM and NUMSA will receive feedback this morning from branches on the proposal that could help lift the pressure on the national grid. Eskom said labour unrest was one of the contributing factors to the current rolling blackouts. Meanwhile, Eskom has rejected the City of Tshwane's offer to enter into a settlement plan for the 878 million rand it owes the power utility. The deadline for payment was the 17th of June. Now on to international news. Harare High Court Judge Siyabona Paul Musitu has ruled that Pearline mineral exploration of South Africa should halt mineral mining activities whatsoever at the Oppenheimer family's Shangani cattle ranch in Matabelele land in Zimbabwe. Now this after the family had secured a court interdict in Zimbabwe to block mineral exploration at the ranch of some 65,000 hectares, which houses at least 8,000 cattle, has some 400 employees, a school for their children, and is a sanctuary for wildlife. As such, Justice Musitu ruled that mining activities would affect the community as well as wildlife conservation. The Oppenheimers acquired the property in 1937, 2 years before World War II. Now, a number of protesters have been arrested for driving too slowly during demonstrations on motorways in England, Wales and Scotland over fuel prices. The go-slow action was mainly targeting 3-lane motorways with convoys of vehicles crawling along 2 lanes, leaving the fast outside lane free. Now, the cost of petrol has soared in recent weeks. We can relate. The average petrol price is now 191.43 pence, almost 39 rand per litre, with diesel at 199.5 pence. That means it costs over £100. That's some 1,980 rand to fill a family car. And of course, some petrol stations are already charging more than £2 per litre. Now, on to a story that's going to make you smile, because we need it. Dwayne, a rhino orphan, has been named a double survivor after surviving poachers last year and now a parasite. He became the first rhino to receive an entire blood transfusion in June last year, and Dwayne was the sole survivor of the slaughter of 11 rhinos and 4 unborn babies by poachers on private reserves in Limpopo. Now, Dwayne was a lost little 7-month-old and was very scared of his carers, fighting and resisting them, but he eventually calmed down once they managed to feed him at the rhino orphanage. Unfortunately, earlier this year, Dwayne was diagnosed with thalaria, a blood parasite passed on to wildlife through a tick vector, and the parasite left him weak, battling a high fever and an elevated heart rate. In a first ever whole blood transfusion on a rhinoceros, Dwayne was nursed back to health and is now fully recovered. He is being called a double survivor because he first survived poachers and then he beat the parasite. The Rhino Orphanage has shared the happy news of his recovery with South Africa and the world. So go, Dwayne, you big lovable lad, you, such a positive force. And I say today, look down at that last 10 rand of yours, look at that rhino and think positively, because that 10 rand you'll give to fuel. Anyway, that's a wrap up of your news for the morning. Let's take a look at sport. And here's Graham, he is standing by.
Thank you so much, Carl. But it looks like the Boks have a little more fuel in the tank for their next major test. Pieter-Steph du Toit is fit and he is set to return for the Springboks as the world champions look to clinch the 3-test series against Wales in Bloemfontein this coming Saturday. Boks assistant coach Deon Davids yesterday confirmed that du Toit is available for the clash at Free State Stadium after missing out on the 32-29 victory in Pretoria last Saturday due to that shoulder injury or his recovery not happening in the allotted time frame. The 29-year-old was the only injury concern going into the first test at Loftus Versfeld, but has since fully recovered from that shoulder surgery and is up for selection. No doubt he will get the nod. Then Andre Pollard is also expected to return to the number 10 jersey in place of Elton Yankees. Then on to football. Great start for Banyana. South Africa came out of their shell in the second half to send out a pretty strong signal of intent at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations finals as they beat defending champions Nigeria 2-1 in their Group C opener. So the match had been billed as a potential dress rehearsal for the final later in the month, and South Africa will have received a major morale booster with that victory, courtesy of goals from Jermaine Siopasenwe and Hilda Mochai. Now, the pair of goals came within just 2 minutes of each other, just after the hour mark, as Banyana suddenly burst to life after spending much of the preceding hour on the back foot. South Africa's next match is up against Burundi, and that's this Thursday. Then on to international cricket. Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow, they took the attack to India as England closed in on a 4th successive winning run chase under their new test leadership duo of captain Ben Stokes and coach Brendan McCullum. So England were 259 for 3 at stumps on the 4th day of that COVID-delayed 5th test, needing just a further 119 runs to reach their target of 378 on that final day. Root was 76 not out, Bairstow 72 not out after making 106, and now it says third 100 in as many tests in England's first innings 284 knock. Now the Yorkshire duo had then added an unbroken 150 in 22 overs on Monday after coming together at 109 for 3, with England having lost 3 wickets in quick succession either side of tea. But the two look like they're going to do it all over again. Now, speaking of which, it seems that Rafa's on form to do it again, and this time on grass. His bid for a remarkable 23rd Grand Slam title remained firmly on track as he booked a quarter-final clash with Taylor Fritz. So the 36-year-old, who has already won the Australian Open and French Open this year, he blew away Botic van der Zandschulp in straight sets to move into the last 8. Now, he could be meeting Nick Kyrgios in a mouth-watering semi-final. That was after the Australian battled past American youngster Brandon Nakashima in 5 sets. Certainly had to say his trial by fire. Then in the women's draw, Simona Halep was at her dominant best to overwhelm Paula Badosa 6-1 and 6-2. Then Kazakhstan's Ilana Rybkina, she reached the quarterfinals for the first time in her career with a straight sets win over Petra Martic. Well, Amanda Anisimova, she is also through to the last 8. Well, that's where we leave our sport for this Tuesday morning. We'll do it all over again tomorrow. Right now, though, I know it's going to cost you a little more out on the road, so let's see if we can save you some time in the traffic.
Thank you very much. Let's start off in Gauteng, Graham. We start off with Pretoria on the N4 eastbound. There are roadworks towards the Durbanport Plaza. Traffic is slow moving over there, causing some heavy delays. So please do keep a look out for this. If you find yourself out in the Western Cape in Bellville, there is congestion. That's on the N1 inbound. That's between Jip de Jager Drive and the M5. The average traveling speed over there is 30 kilometers per hour with delays up to 11 minutes at a go. So please be patient as you travel the roads this morning. KwaZulu-Natal, Durban on the N2 southbound. There is a stationary vehicle that's after the Umgeni interchange. It's obstructing the emergency lane, so please approach with caution. That's where we leave it for this morning. Take it easy on the roads. Up next, a look at your weather. And now, a final look at your weather. The Minister of Water and Sanitisation, Senzo Mchunu, in South Africa, says that he wants all the remaining water leaks in Nelson Mandela Bay closed by Friday. Mchunu briefed the media yesterday on the progress made so far by the city to avert Day Zero. And the Metro, in partnership with the business sector, has been tackling water leaks across the Metro with over 2,000 of 3,000 leaks closed so far. While Mchunu applauded the team for the progress made, he said that no drop of water should be lost through leaks. And the municipal manager of Nelson Mandela Bay, Nokolo Mkwazi, said that 3 more local contractors would be procured to deal with the water leaks. And next we take a final look at that. Some of your beautiful sunrise images that you have sent through to us on this beautiful Tuesday morning. First up is Nikki Haywood. She sent us this stunning shot all the way from the Balito Surf Pro. We get to meet her in just a bit, or rather just have a chat with her in just a bit. Jolene also sent us one beautiful picture from Umkomas. Look at that one with the sun causing a soft glow above the still waters. Keith van der Nelson, or Run Fun Nelson, sent us this one from Fishhook. Look at how all of that masterpiece has come together. Water elements, sand elements, and the sun there in the horizon. I love it. And finally, we have this one sent in by another one of our regulars, Joey Peterson from Umhlanga, showcasing this beautiful, busy surrounding as the morning sun rises above the ocean. Thank you so much for those pictures. Please WhatsApp yours to us as well, 063-408-8863. And now we take a final look at your temperatures across the country. Polokwane 6 is your low today. You will peak at 22. Sunny conditions expected out in Bombela, 11, reaching a maximum of 26. The capital city, Pretoria 8, is your low. You will reach highs of 21. Johannesburg 7 and 20, with Mahikeng sun and clouds out there for you, 7 and a maximum of 22. Klerksdorp 5 and 22, with sun and clouds out in Kimberley 4, minimum reaching maximum of 22. Bloemfontein, some sun and clouds out there 4 and 20. Richards Bay 15, reaching a maximum of 26. Pietermaritzburg 8 is your low and your high is 26 today. Durban 16, reaching a maximum of 24, with sun and clouds expected out in Mthatha 9, reaching a high of 26. East London 14 and 24. Craddock 7 is your low, reaching a maximum of 21. Some rain expected, 100%. Gqeberha 12, it'll definitely rain out there, reaching a high of 18. George, rainy times as well out there, 9 and a maximum of 16. With the Cape Town, that's the mother city, coming in at a low of 8, reaching a high of 17. Worcester 3 and 17. Sutherland -2, that's where you will start. You will reach a maximum of 12. And Uppington comes in at a minimum of 2, reaching a maximum of 22. Some sun and clouds expected out there for you as well. And that's where we leave it for this Tuesday morning. Hopefully that sets you up for a beautiful Tuesday morning, because no matter what it's looking like, you are going to make it a feel-good type of day.
Now you have to. Now you have to make it a feel-good kind of day. So you might have noticed the omission of Nikki Haywood Bonning's photo this morning. Why was she not out there taking a beautiful sunrise photo? Because she was sitting on the beach with our Ryle. We love getting to know our sunrise contributor, so let's meet another one.
Thank you so much, G-Man. And of course, I do also wish that you were here this morning. But someone that I am very grateful to have right now is Nikki Hayward-Bonning. Now, it's one of our Expresso top fans. She's been sending in incredible pictures of the sunrise. And this is one of the favorite parts of my day, getting to meet some of our family. I mean, I honestly said this yesterday when I met one of our other fans and family members, but I'm so grateful for what you do for the show. We get to connect with people all across South Africa. We get to showcase the beauty of Mzansi, and you are a part of that. So I want to say thank you firstly, but firstly, how are you doing?
Oh, wonderful.
Did you ever think that you'd be on this side of the screen, being on the Expresso show itself?
No, I'm used to being on the other side of the camera.
But look, you definitely look the part. I love your outfit. It's full of color. I think it fits this beautiful environment as well. But let's talk about these sunrise pictures of you. I mean, firstly, you watched Expresso. That's the reason why you send the pictures in. When did you get into the show exactly, and what got you into watching Expresso in the first place?
Well, I just have it playing in the background, and I've been watching it for many, many years, and I just love all the things that you offer. I mean, it's just so, the diversity of it's great.
One thing for me as well, we're blessed to just speak to so many people, and that diversity is something that's so true. For you, though, is there anything that like stands out for the show, something that you love watching out of all the segments? I mean, you know, we've got cooking, we've got fitness. I hope you've done 1 or 2 fitness segments.
Oh. Actually, I like watching the fitness, and I love watching the cooking and your wildlife and the music. I mean, as I say, it's so many things to watch. It's great. It really is.
Now, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of this, because, like I said, your pictures are beautiful, mesmerizing. You must have some sort of experience in the game. Is this a career of yours, or is it just a passion now?
No, it's actually a passion. I used to film videos, as in weddings, for many years, 25 years nearly. And I used to like go with the photo shoot if it was the sunrise or the sun setting, because it would just make such a romantic setup with the bride and groom, and that was really special.
Okay, it all makes sense now. Clearly there's some skill behind this, because like I said, your pictures are fantastic. And just because you're on TV now doesn't mean that you must stop sending them through, right?
No,
now you've got to turn it up even more.
Yeah, the crack of dawn, I got some beautiful shots.
So I obviously saw you were on the beach bright and early before we had the interview. I saw you walking in, taking some of this magic. And for me, this is winter in South Africa. You'd definitely be fooled by this location. But for you, obviously being a local in Durban, what do you love most about the area?
Look, I mean, Durban's got a great vibe. Our weather's wonderful. I love the heat, so that's great. I mean, as you said earlier, I mean, this is winter, okay? So it's a little bit chilly, the wind, but hey, this is winter. What a pleasure. Where else?
Definitely. And any favorite spots that you love to go to out in Durban?
Oh, I spend quite a lot of time in Belita, enjoy Belita, and I go down the coast a lot. Yeah.
Beautiful. Look, this is your opportunity. We're on live TV. Would you like to send a message out to Mzansi and the rest of the world while we're here?
Hey, just wishing everybody lots of love and happiness, and what a great life, and enjoy the day.
Well, yeah, but Nikki, one of our family members, it's official, and I think we can officially give a hug, right? It's always good to meet some of our family. Yes! Dying for this moment, of course. And you, Mzansi, keep sending those beautiful pictures in, because we love seeing how you start your day wherever you are in the country. And of course, maybe we might even get to meet you. So if you're out here in KZN, come through, come take in all this beauty, and of course, don't stop sending in all that magic. We'll catch up with you in just a bit. We're going to be talking about a great initiative that's taking place on our coastlines and touching in with some of the athletes. We'll see you in just a bit.
back, and it's back. By popular demand, it's the 5-second game. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, it's not that stressful, actually. This is how it works. I'm going to ask these fine gentlemen a couple of questions, and then they only have 5 seconds to answer. Ooh. And the theme today, it's a beautiful one. I don't know how you guys are going to bridge this. It's friendship.
Oh, it's easy for us.
Is it though? I was picking up this dynamic tension there earlier. Okay, so the person who wins the most rounds wins the highly coveted box of Omar Rusks. It got real. It got real pretty quickly. Today we are playing for the classic original buttermilk flavor. I think if you're a purist, this is where you go. Okay, and of course the loser here is going to go and cook for the rest of us.
Oh, great.
Okay, so this is how it's going to work. All right.
It's a win.
A little added impetus
anyway.
here. Okay, so we'll have our clock. Our producers are quite hardcore about this, eh? So you better get it within the 5 seconds. So I'm going to start with you, Tubbsy.
All right.
You got your buttons all the way up to the top.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
I need you to, in 5 seconds, name me 3 of your best friends.
Mpo, Sipo, and Mujalefa.
Nice. Done. Do they know that they're your best friends?
I did make up one name.
Mujalefa sounds very made up.
Because I wasn't ready to go yet. I don't have a friend called Mpo.
You don't?
But now
and shame. That
now I'm going to call speech Mpo.
But now you know that Mpo that you know is like...
Oh, I didn't know.
What do you mean?
Oh, we'll be best.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, Carlito, are you ready? Name 3 of your childhood friends.
Justin, Bradley, and Stefan.
Nice.
Here we go.
This one found any white person name that you could find.
They know who you are. Justin, Bradley, Stefan. Love you guys. Long time no chat.
Yeah.
Stefan.
Where have you guys been, man?
Still
Where have you
Bradley and
been?
Justin.
All right, let's raise the stakes a little bit here. I need you, Tubbsy, to name 3 things to do with friends, not in Paul.
Go partying, cook with your friends, bake with your friends.
Nice.
Or you can do them all at the same time.
Yes.
I like that. Carlito, name 3 nicknames for friends.
Koppa, Bali, and Hola.
If you know, you know. I'm guessing. If you know, you know.
What does holla mean? Like holler at your peeps.
Go
This game is clearly bad.
It is. It's killing you. All right. Well, this game being one of them, so you can't mention it. Name 3 ways to cheer up a friend, Tubbsy.
3 ways to cheer. Buy them flowers. Take them out for lunch. Give them a hug, but like an extended long one.
Yes.
Hola, come here. Come here for a cuddle. I love that.
Someone's better.
Carl, name 3 ways to make a new friend.
Oh, going to the movies with them, new experiences, maybe even hiking.
I'm just picturing that uncomfortable moment where that complete stranger sees you sidle up to them in a cinema.
With a Marvel movie, like, you know, Thor Love and Thunder's coming out. We're probably going to give some tickets away for an early screening.
That's how you make a
good way
friend.
to connect, right?
Being asked to go out hiking for the first time with somebody that you barely even know.
That's the perfect time.
Don't use that. I'm going to give you a chance to use that answer right now. Name 3 ways to irritate your friend.
Don't take them hiking. Don't wake them up in the morning. Don't take food away from them.
Whoa.
Just made it.
It's how you keep yourself alive. Don't take food away from them. Name 3 reasons why friends would fight, Carl.
Woman, food, and time.
And time. Called
Why
you
are you
Hola.
fighting
Were you
for
calling
women,
it time? Or you...
No, as in like punctuality.
Don't waste my time, man. Don't waste my time. Oh, brilliant stuff.
I'm not going to go there now. It's not that type of show.
You guys are doing so well. Okay, but this is going to need to be the decider, okay? The decider, guys. Decide who's going to cook and who's going to win the Omars. Tubbsy, name 3 reasons why you're the ultimate friend.
Because, I mean, who's going to make you laugh like this? Also, I make every one of my friends look good.
Boom, it's done. It's done. Oh, my word. Yeah, you see, he started thinking too much about how awesome he is, and then he got sidetracked. All right, Carlito, let's see if you can seal the deal. Name 3 reasons why you're the ultimate friend.
I hug well, I'll make you laugh, and I'm good to talk to.
Boom! He's done it. Hola! In the bag, my friend. You win this one.
Who?
You get the
Who's the winner?
You got the
Am I the winner?
No, who is the winner? I feel like...
How is Tabiso the winner? Well, we can do it.
I am the winner.
Because Hola doesn't count. Is the
Hola doesn't
Excuse me? Is that what the producer said in your ear? That's actually one of their
nicknames. Friends upstairs. Well done. You've won yourself an Omar. caramel biscuit.
I think the producers also know that I need this more than Carl. So.
No, they just want to keep you out of the kitchen. I think, Carlito, you better run to the kitchen, my friend. Go,
come
the
on.
walk of shame. I love it. Now, if you're feeling lucky, you at home could win yourself an Omar Rusk's hamper worth and plus 2,000 Rand in cash. Oh, my word. So to enter, tell us what you want your life to look like and feel like 20 years from now. I love that. Use the hashtag more than a rusk in your entry and enter on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages, and you'll have up until tomorrow midnight to enter. And that winner will be announced on Friday, but you can find all the terms and conditions on expressoshow.com. Good luck. Go and practice your
Grab a rusk, Choma.
Hola. Hola. Not you, buddy. Hola, what's happening in the kitchen?
There's more in every dip with Omar.
It's time to make some people winners. Yes, I may have been the loser of our little 5-second game, but it's a win-win when you have this incredible individual alongside you and some winners. So stand by for this. All right, so speaking of friendship, because we love friends, Tando and I are friends, okay? We go way back, all right? Christmas comes early as we search for South Africa's best baking duo, and entries have been coming in thick and fast. Some incredible entries as well. Well done to you. We have our first finalist baking on the line, and this is going to be fantastic. So, without any further ado, please welcome, congratulations, Mashoto and Nolizwe. Yes, hire a crowd. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so first and foremost, welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. How does it feel to be a finalist?
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Morning.
We are super excited, super stoked. I mean, I don't even know how to feel. We are just ready, and, you know, we are just ready to take the prize and take it on.
Beautiful. So tell me a bit more about the bestie relationship. Like, why is this the bestie?
You know, Noli and I met just a few months ago, and we've known each other for a short amount of time. But you know what? The first time I saw her, it was like love at first sight, if I can say, because we just clicked, you know. And from there on, we've been besties, and everything we do together, cooking, baking, it's just magical. So I guess that's the perfect bestie relationship.
That sounds absolutely beautiful, but I know that there was a lot of inspiration that went into your entry as well. Tell me a bit more about that.
So about the entry, we wanted to keep it simple and elegant and Christmassy, obviously. So we just went with the chocolate for beacon and those little jelly tarts to keep it playful. You know, I love tarts, she loves tarts, and who doesn't love chocolate? So we just got a bit of ourselves in the creation, and yeah, that's just, you know, what we wanted to create, a bit of love and a bit of ourselves in the creation as well.
Well, all the best to you and Nolly. I think it's going to be absolutely sensational. It's a few weeks left, so all the best, and thank you for entering. You guys are incredible. I almost want to say Merry Christmas, but I know it's Christmas in July. But anyway, it's that time. It's the festive spirit. But there is just a few weeks left, and you can be our next finalist if you and your bestie, as you've heard, enter the Golden Cloud Christmas in July competition and stand a chance to win the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand with Golden Cloud and Beacon. To give you that much-needed inspiration, we are showing you something very special, some tips and tricks that can ensure that your baked goods stand out amongst the dozens of entries. Tando is here not only to listen to the winners, but give you a winning recipe to ensure that you are decorating properly. A few techniques that will help you along, and I think this is so important. So Tando, you heard the besties there. They sound amazing.
They're so excited as well.
You have to be excited about this.
They're so excited.
It's like I'm excited to cook with you in a way, because I know we're more decorating than cooking today.
Yeah, we're decorating, and I'm showing a few techniques that can just, you know, they can elevate certain things, you know, playing around with color as well is great with our product. So we're going to start with our first technique.
I love your colors.
Which, yeah, we've got some white, green, and pink.
Yeah.
And we're going to put this in a piping bag.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so what you've done there is that you've almost you've added all of them together. You wrap it up and...
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you're going to see, it's going to give us a beautiful effect. It's making ombre,
So just a quick one for anybody who's not in the know. I'm assuming that you just make a little bit of like with cling wrap?
With cling wrap, and then you pipe all three colors in like lines.
So
and then
cool.
you
What a great idea.
roll it up, and then you just squeeze all of that.
And then, oh, this is gonna be great.
And then there we go.
Wow. But then again, I can't say wow, because I'm like genuinely impressed with you all the time, which is always great. So
there we go.
This is great. I love this concept. I think that a lot of people should actually get involved with this. It's not just that one layer or trying to pick through different layers or do it separately. Do it together.
Do it together, exactly.
That's great.
Listen, focused.
Just as you're piping over there, you know that the Golden Cloud vanilla muffin mix is quick and easy to make. It's prepped in just 10 minutes with the addition of eggs, oil and water or even milk, and you can have delicious treats baked in just 15 minutes. Also, Beacon Heavenly Milk Chocolate, smooth, creamy. It adds a little layer of decadence to your weekend treats. And we also, over here, have some weekly prizes for our viewers. When you submit your entry, you stand a chance to win one of 2 Golden Cloud and Beacon hampers valued at $500, which is always good. Your next thing you
Our next
here
technique,
is...
yes. This is our Christmas tree. This is a hack on a Christmas tree.
I feel like you and I are elves.
I don't want to be an elf.
Okay,
I
that's
want to
fine.
grow. But I am an elf.
I'm
With you,
happy.
I'm an elf.
I'm happy that you and I are elves together. While you do
There
that,
we go.
I'm going to do this.
Yes.
And we're going to give it a shot. I think that was like the trick of the day.
Of the day,
Do
yes.
remember, I just wanted to let you know that remember the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand could be yours and your besties when you enter the Golden Cloud Christmas in July competition. Here's how easy it is to enter while we decorate our incredible cakes. Good luck
There
to
we
you.
go.
Decorate them.
And the last technique is the dripping technique. All over the sides, the edge of the cake. There we go. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
You're doing amazing.
I try my best.
You need to win some.
Christmas comes early on Expresso as Golden Cloud and Beacon search for South Africa's best friends baking duo. You and a friend stand a chance to win the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand in the ultimate Christmas in July bake-off. To enter the challenge, create your bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon. Share your photo of the bake on the Golden Baker Search Christmas in July edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages or WhatsApp line on 063 814 2300 using hashtag Golden Baker Search. And tell us why you are SA's best baking duo and why you think your creation is the best. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing live on Expresso for the grand prize worth 50,000 Rand. The winning duo to be crowned live on Expresso this July. Brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. Entries close on the 17th of July. Details and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. I missed you. I'm so glad you stuck around. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Expresso here in S3 and fresh and vibrant local streetwear brand that is Thesis Lifestyle recently dropped a new collaborative collection. Celebration of Koo's latest Pilchards offering and June's Youth Month. Now, Koo Claire was there to experience this magic firsthand. Let's take a peek.
Our expression of culture as Africans is more than a mix of patterns. It is a rich collection of color, fabric, texture, all inspired by the environment and most importantly to the food that we eat, the songs that we sing and the movement of our people. For Koo, that is worth celebrating, that is worth sharing, and that is worth documenting. With Youth Month coming to a close only a few days ago, Koo would like to shine a light on young entrepreneurs while being able to provide young consumers with merchandise that speaks to who they are as individuals and who the brand is. Tell us about your partnership with Thesis. How did that come about?
We've been following Thesis and the amazing work that they've been doing, and I just fell in love with their mission and their vision of defining yourself. It's so important for the youth to be able to define themselves and stand apart from the rest of culture. And just their designs, it's so colorful, it's amazing, so we just had to. And I think for Koo, as being part of Homes for over 80 years, we wanted to partner with someone who's so entrenched in culture just as we are.
Wandile, Thesis Lifestyle is the perfect example of change makers who celebrate South African culture and tradition, much as Koo has over 80 years. Tell us about the inspiration behind the merchandise design.
The inspiration behind the Koo Thesis collab was just color. When you look at the Koo catalog in terms of the product range, it's just filled with color. How do you adapt that color to be relevant to the youth? We're fortunate enough to use a brand that has lived around us, Koo.
Now, what's your personal favorite from this range of merchandise?
I think when you become a father, and especially if you become a father of two, you never have favorites. So I honestly don't have a favorite design. Both the designs for me, they hit home.
Koo is all about affordable and accessible nutrition, and right now we have an amazing range of fruits and veggies which can allow you to color your plate. We wanted to take it one step further by also providing you with an affordable source of protein, hence the launch into pilchards.
Which variants can South Africans find these nutritious and delicious pilchards in?
So Koo pilchards comes in two variants. It's pilchards in tomato sauce and pilchards in chili sauce. So we give you the original and a little bit of heat.
The best part of today was definitely the pilchard taco. I hadn't eaten today because I knew I was coming here to get filled. And when I saw that taco and I tasted it, excellent.
Pilchards are part of my childhood, and I just remember growing up, my mom used to like mix them with mayonnaise and with old gold tomato sauce, so just having that part of my adulthood kind of reminds us on a t-shirt, on a hoodie, how much Koo really is part of being South African.
So I think the focus is really there, you know, in terms of the retail space, trying to grow our footprint retail, and also probably grow this relationship with Koo, you know. I'm hoping that's the future, you know, build from these relationships and also maintain the same consistency and grow the brand.
How do South Africans get a hold of these limited edition designs?
So you can enter competitions on Koo's page, or you can come to the Thesis store in Soweto and purchase them for yourself.
Very important for young people to interact with brands they feel that they can relate to, and I think it's very important that now in the digital space you can make a lot of money, but also you can create your own lane, and I think it's important for brands to lift as they rise and bring the youth into what they're doing.
Okay, so I'm wearing the Thesis hoodie times Koo with the Koo man. I don't think they've named him yet.
Where do the proceeds from this collaboration go?
So we've partnered with our partners in Tiger Brands called EduPlant, and the proceeds will go to them, and they're really just about educating and growing nutrition. So that's why we partner with them, because we're so passionate about nutrition.
I'm feeling so inspired right now. I cannot wait to get my hands on this limited edition merchandise.
Absolutely incredible. You got Koo, you got Thesis, that equals Couture. In fact, something else that is a coup is getting tickets early for the MCU's latest offering. Take a look.
Introduce new Koo pilchards as part of your 5-a-day meal. It's high in omega-3 for heart wellness. Koo, uzotwala.
Okay, that seemed very exciting and such an inspiring story and collaboration. But now we're taking you to the cinema. Okay, prepare to be blown away. Blown into
who seeks to end us all.
all 9 films with the release of Marvel Studios' Thor, Love and Thunder in new Metro cinemas. It's exciting.
Oh, it looks amazing. All of our favorites are back. So in it, we've obviously got Thor, the god of thunder, and he's going to team up with King Valkyrie, Korg, who is the funniest character in all of that universe. And of course, his ex-girlfriend, who's just happened to turn turn into a mighty Thor herself, Jane Foster, to take on a galactic killer. He's a god killer known as Gore, the God Butcher. Oh, my word.
I love it. I love it already. Okay, now, Expresso grants our Durban, Joburg, and our Cape Town viewers the opportunity to win double tickets for you and a worthy sidekick to go experience Thor Love and Thunder in new Metro's larger-than-life extreme cinemas, featuring some of South Africa's largest cinemas. I mean, I'm talking about those screens, those big ones, Ultra HD projection, Gitsi Wena, advanced Dolby Atmos sound. It's all happening.
Yep, it's all going down on Thursday, the 7th of July. That's this Thursday at New Metro's special pre-release screenings, and that includes snacks to be so that are on the house, buddy.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, you and Paul can go and enjoy it. And all you need to do is to prove to us how big your Marvel mania is by answering this simple question related to, obviously, Thor, Love and Thunder. So if you had the power to wield Thor's mighty hammer, Mjolnir, how would you use it to save the world?
Okay, it's that simple. Go
Crush petrol prices.
How would you? Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, that's a good answer there. First entry in the box. Okay, but what you need to do is go onto our Facebook page, give us your answer with that hashtag Thor, Love and Thunder. This competition will close at 12 p.m. tomorrow. That's the 6th of July, 2022. And then the 10 winners per city, so that's 10 in Durban, 10 in Joburg, and 10 in Cape Town, will be contacted personally. So make sure that you keep, yes, your phone close by, but also keep it on loud. T's and C's, you can find them on our site. That's expressoshow.com.
Good luck, and just whatever you do, make sure that you do go out and check out Thor, Love and Thunder when you can. It's in new Metro cinemas nationwide from this coming Friday. So get entering now, and I again stress the snacks are free.
They are.
Free, buddy.
Oh, man, I'm there.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Breakfast is a great way to give the body the fuel it needs to get our kids through their day. And by starting the day with a healthy breakfast, we not only replenish energy and nutrients, but also rev up that body and, of course, that mind, which is needed to prepare us for the busy day ahead. And kids have busy days. And we welcome back dietitian Anne-Marie de Beer, who's going to be discussing the importance of keeping our kids refueled and giving them the right platform to launch, because it feels like my 5-year-old launches. He doesn't just get up, he launches into, not every day. Some days it's a bit of a struggle, but it just feels like kids have so much on their plate at the moment. That being said, why is breakfast so important, and the right kind of breakfast at that?
So I think what's very important to understand around breakfast specifically, it means break the fast. So firstly, kids sleep during the night, probably about 7 or 8 hours, hopefully. Some a bit longer. And when they sleep, they still use energy. And we shouldn't forget that kids that are growing grow when they sleep as well. So it's something that we just need to keep in the back of our minds, that they still need energy. So, of course, if they had dinner 6 o'clock and they get up in the morning and they probably have breakfast between 7 and 8 or perhaps sometimes earlier, that period that they didn't have food, it's a long fast for them, so they really need the energy. But what's very important around that energy that we then provide, or that breakfast that we provide, is that it's not empty calories. So we must make sure that that breakfast that we give is something substantial. It doesn't have to be a big breakfast, but what we give needs to be substantial. So we talk about calorie-dense nutrients or nutrient-dense calories that the kids need at this point in time, because empty calories is not going to last them for very long. And they really need to launch for the rest of the day. If you think about it, they need to go to school. If primary school, high school, doesn't really matter, but they need to learn. they cannot learn if they don't have energy. And this is really, we've seen this with kids that don't have breakfast.
It's the South African narrative, yeah.
They struggle at school because of the fact that they didn't eat in the morning. And I think even for us as adults to take it for yourself, if you didn't eat and by 11 or 12 you realized, I didn't have breakfast. So imagine what it does to kids when they don't eat.
And we've spoken in the past about just how much calorie kind of load is needed, but I'm so glad you highlighted empty calories, because I think often we think just the volume is what they're getting, but they need the nutrients going with that. And I know that's where Milo is absolutely amazing as an added bonus to that breakfast. It allows you to get the right kind of nutrients in there. But feeding off what you've just said, why is it so important for kids to have sustained energy now and throughout their day and not get those kind of spikes and drops in that journey?
I think we can take it for ourselves. If you have those drops, what you feel like. Kids feel exactly the same, so they can't concentrate, they might even feel a bit nauseous, they often complain of tummy ache, and then it's often because the energy levels are dropping. So the sustained energy is really critical, and I think that's the nice thing about Milo Active Go, is that it provides micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, but also it's made with malt. And malt, we now know, is actually helps us to have a sustained energy release. So it's not just a big spike and then it drops. It helps to almost even out the breakdown of the energy throughout the day.
I love the fact that with all of the improvements and how amazing, and the nuance of this product, how amazing it's become, that one of the best features is probably the original feature of the original Milo, the malt. I absolutely love that. We want to be active, and I think I always use it, you know, if you want to understand how your child is feeling, just imagine you had to have forced exercise throughout your day. So you're playing, okay, not that needs to be forced, but then you've got to go and do sports activities, you've got to do all of these things. Very few of us go and play rugby and cricket after we've worked, after we've, you know, studied, after we've pushed ourselves in so many different directions. So the exercise can put an added strain, but it's also so vital for them to live physically, to move, to express themselves, to de-stress. Why do you think exercise plays such a vital role?
Well, there's a number of things. We did a very interesting, and perhaps just to take a step back, interesting social experiment recently, where we had adults going to school and really experiencing what you are saying now. We don't play rugby after work, or few of us do that. If we go to gym, not everybody goes to gym every day. These kids have to practice every day. Probably a Friday afternoon they're off, hopefully. So the benefit of exercise is extremely important, and especially for our kids, apart from learning through exercise. And I think this is something that we often forget.
Life skills.
It's a life skill. There's social skills that these kids need. It also, when we exercise, and as adults we know this, we feel good after we've exercised, and that's because of the release of hormones, that these endorphins that makes us feel happy and alive and well. So all of that is important, but we need to make sure the kids have got energy for that. And again, it's about what do we give them throughout the day and what's in their lunch boxes, if there are lunch boxes. And if we are giving our children pocket money to buy at the school tuck shop, what is it that they are buying? So it's very important that we empower our kids to make healthier choices and to make sure that what they buy actually will help them, not only for the exercise bit, but also for the learning bit, where they really need the energy for.
Listen, you get to my age, I can play 3 games of rugby a year now, okay? And they're good games, but that's it, then I'm spent. Now, I love this. You've got, I'm going to say, breakfast, school box, lunch box, and treat when you get back home from school. You're sorted throughout the day. Absolutely incredible advice there. Thank you so much. And it's as simple as it seems. It's about those principles, and once you get those right, then you are sorted. And you need your child to also take that on board so that they are, as we said, empowered to make the right choices themselves. Now, listen up. We're going to inspire you to make those right choices and move really fast, because you could win yourself your very own Sportsman's Warehouse trolley dash worth 20,000 Rand, and not just for you, for your school. So you'll be a hero. Imagine the marks you'll get when you give your... No, it doesn't work like that in real school, but they'll still love you. And all you have to do is buy a tin of Nestle Milo, which you should be doing anyway. Enter the competition by following the instructions, and you can find those terms and conditions that apply on their website right now. And remember to also keep an eye out for the Nestle Milo. It's go time teams at your local shopping centre. I guarantee you they will be holding mugs like this. But the debate still rages on, the hot-cold debate. I haven't been won over yet, but let's see if a cup lovingly made by Lucian this morning will win me over. But Anne-Marie, thank you so much. Cheers. Oh, look, it's good.
It's go time with a cup of Nestle Milo at breakfast. Give your kids the energy to go further.
Milo! Milo!
Energy for kids and kids with some energy. Now we chat to Next Gen Academy and we have a fantastic person at Belito Pro, Coach Natasha van Greden, who's chatting with Ryle at the moment at Willard Beach. Let's take a peek.
Yes, thank you so much, Carl. And we are still having so much fun out here at the Belito Pro. And we're about to chat to one of Next Gen's coaches, as well as a pro athlete. It's Natasha van Greden. She's already done 4 Belito Pros already, and this is going to be one that is hotly contested, seeing that the entire, crowd in the field is massive. It's a beautiful day out here, but I want to find out more about the incredible work you're doing, both as a surfer, but also with Next Gen. When did you start to get involved in it, and why?
So I started with Yanni about 3 years ago when he first started the surf school, and he said, I really want a girl coach to help out all of the little girls out because they froth over having a pro surfer and someone to look up to. And I was like, of course I want to inspire and help other girls to get involved and to just love surfing.
Oh, and it's so good to see a woman, especially like you. You are an inspiration. Your talent literally inspires so many in the water. You're a coach, obviously, and you're doing a lot for the community. How important is it for surfing to be involved in the community that it plays in?
I think surfing is so important because it brings everyone together. You know, everyone has this love for the ocean. They want to protect it. They just love being in it, and it brings some sort of peace to everyone.
Yeah.
And I think that is so important, especially in today's world where there's so much chaos going on. Everyone just can come together with their love and passion for the ocean.
Almost like church, right?
Yes, it's like a church. It's our church, yeah.
Listen, so you've got a big day ahead of you. I've seen the waves popping up today. It's looking a lot better than yesterday. And that means potentially that you'll be out on the water for your first run. How are you feeling about it?
Obviously a little nervous. You always get a little nervous before you want to do well and you're hoping that the conditions are going to play into your favor. But I'm just excited. It's nice to have an event at home, to have family and friends around us. Like, usually we're overseas and it's a bit scary and intimidating. And now it's like we're at our home break, we have South Africans and everyone's cheering for us.
Oh, you really are. And I'm looking around at the crowd right now. They look so excited and pumped. And everybody that I'm chatting to is genuinely so excited for the girls and the women's component of this. And for me, I think just for the sport in general, it's so awesome to see. I mean, we're mentioning 64 women in total at this competition, and you being a pioneer for that space, I'm so grateful for it. On top of that, though, I mean, what are you expecting, looking at the conditions now, what are you hoping to achieve if you were to get out there today?
Well, today I'm just hoping to get the best waves out there. That's what's going to get you through the heat, as long as you're surfing the best waves and getting your best surfing done. There's no easy heat here. Everything is tough, and you've just got to take your surfing to the next level and surf to the best of your ability.
All right, well, I'm wishing you the best of luck for this one. I know that you're excited, definitely, yes?
Yes.
But on top of that, I'm sure there's a lot of nerves to deal with, so I'm going to let you do your thing. Thank you so much for sharing some time with us. I think it's always an honor just to chat to a pro surfer. Home ground advantage on South African soil. I know you're going to do exceptionally well, so good luck for you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, there you have it. Mzansi, one of our pro surfers out here, Natasha van Greden. She is an absolute inspiration, have you seen, and we're wishing her nothing but the best of luck as she makes her way into the water later today and hopefully dominates and gets us all celebrating. For you, of course, head down to the beach. It's looking absolutely fantastic. The waves are cooker looking. It looks like there's some barrels on the cards too, so come make a day out of it at school holidays. Bring the kids around and let's support this beautiful local talent. Yes, Mzansi, back to you in the studio.
Your generosity can ignite a love for reading amongst our youth. Share your homegrown story. See Cadbury Story Edition packs. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Feel Good Breakfast Show. Still, Expresso here on S3. Come on, it's karaoke time because you can't have vocal talent like what Sadie has and not put it to good use. And so, Sadie, welcome back. It's good to have you back. And we're going to be recording one of your favorite songs. I've waited so long to be able to sing this song alongside you and Jamie Lee.
Oh, wow. I can just a hype person. I can just stand here. 13 years old. Let us not forget. He's only 13 years old.
Yeah.
Here he is with Talking to the Moon by Bruno Mars. You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Somewhere far away, I want you back. I want you back. My neighbors think I'm crazy, but they don't understand. You're all I had. You're all I had. At night when the stars light up my room, I sit by myself talking to the moon, trying to get to you. In hopes you're on the other side, talking to me too. Or am I a fool who sits alone, talking to the moon?
Oh, Sadie boy.
Oh, I'm feeling like I'm famous, the talk of the town. They say I've gone mad. Yeah, I've gone mad.
Hey.
But they don't know what I know. When the sun goes down, someone's talking back. Yeah, they're talking back. Oh, at night when the stars light up my room, I sit by myself talking to the moon, trying to get to you. In hopes you're on the other side, talking to me too. Or am I a fool who sits alone, talking to the moon? Do you ever hear me calling? Cause every night I'm talking to the moon. Still trying to get to you. In hopes you're on the other side, talking to me too. Or am I a fool who sits alone,
Doing what?
talking to the moon? Oh, I know you're somewhere out there, somewhere far away. Sadie, everybody! Only 13 years old. I had to stop myself from
No.
singing because I was like, there's no way. There was no way.
I couldn't. Jamie and I found ourselves so many times just watching and listening to this young man give it to us. Sadie, put it here. You're so talented. Okay, well, we actually really did scam you into just performing this by yourself under the pretense of a karaoke performance. What did you think of it? Let us know on Expresso Morning Show, SABC3, hashtag Expresso Show. Sadie, I need
Hashtag
lessons
Sadie
from
as well.
you. I need lessons.
Oh,
You gotta teach
a
me.
whole lot of lessons, my friend.
I mean, come on,
There we
you're
go.
so talented, the young man.
But that was before you got your singing lessons, eh?
Yeah.
That was done a while ago.
I mean,
hey?
since then, a lot has changed. We've come a long way. But listen, Sadie Phillies is very, very good, so talented. Talking to the moon. I mean, I was waiting for the crew to also join in. It's an ongoing thing here. Thank you very much for that. Tomorrow, we're back again doing this feel-good stuff on your TV. What are we doing?
And Ryle is in his happy place at the moment. Of course, he's down for the Bolido Pro, and he's going to fill us in right now on what we can expect from his coverage tomorrow.
Go, go, go. Yeah.
Yes, Mzansi! We are out here, we are live right now. We are talking about something absolutely special. And don't forget to come through live tomorrow, where we're going to be doing it all again. I'm like in between this and the beach. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do either. But all I can say is that you need to come down to the beach and come join me, because there's so many options. Get in the water, watch the surf, get involved in everything else. I'm telling you now, it is a perfect opportunity to make some magic, especially if you've got some kids with school holidays. So, what more is there to do? Let's get in the ocean, let's have some fun, and come tune in tomorrow morning. We'll be live right here reporting on everything Bolido Pro. Woo!
Oh, man, that's called adding insult to injury. The carefree Fred Astaire, just to let us know how relaxed he is. Great day to be covered tomorrow at the Bolido Pro. Yes, but lest we forget, it is a Wednesday, which means only one thing, the culinary hotline. Bling!
Ting, ting, ting!
It's going to be awesome. So please drop us your voice notes if you've got any questions. Conundrum 063 408 8863. We'd love to hear from you. Take it easy today, and let's promote that well-being in the workplace. We love you guys. Ciao.
We love you.
Go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go.
For when it's chilly or rainy or just for the sake of it, here's the toastiest ways of keeping winter at bay, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.